A big crowd starting to wander in towards the MCG. It's a beautiful day here. Conditions on the surface is magnificent, and we expect a big encounter. As the round one clash, Collingwood taking on the Fremantle Dockers. I'm Alistair Lynch, and joined amongst the Collingwood faithful is Tony Shaw, the legend and premiership captain from Collingwood. Massive game. Round one, MCG, and the Pies have got plenty to play for.
Well, they have, and it's fantastic to be at the MCG. Every time you come here, you get goosebumps, and I think some of these players will have those goosebumps, mainly about the nervousness of playing in their first game of the season. But as you said, the Pies were brilliant last year, one kick off a grand final, and they won the respect of the footy world. Well, Fremantle, I think it's about time they stood up, Alistair. I think that potential word has been used a lot about this playing group, and they need to perform pretty well here today.
Without doubt, they've put in a few experienced players to help with the youngsters that have been at Fremantle for a couple of years. They've asked Mark Johnson to stand up and give a real bit of toughness around that back half. So it is going to be a very big test for the Fremantle Dockers, and a big test. And I suppose one guy might be a little bit nervous in the first day in the job is Mark Harvey, and he's over the other side of the ground catching up with John Casey.
Mark, opening ground against Collingwood at the MCG, an appetising way to start 2008.
Oh, absolutely, and there'll be probably 50 or 60,000 people here. Not many will be on our side, but that'll be the strength of the group when you come away and you're on the road, and to win these sort of games means a lot.
You've deliberately gone for experience ahead of youth for this opening round match. What are your expectations today?
Oh, that these guys should show enormous amount of composure, play the way we want to play, and hopefully our intent is there to carry out those sort of areas of the game.
He looks very determined, does Mark Harvey, as we see the Collingwood Football Club about to come out onto the ground, and they'll be just bristling with confidence after a very good 07 and looking forward to a good start. And we'll have a look at the Collingwood lineup, Tony Shaw, and there's a wealth of experience, but the ones that really carried the can last year was those youngsters through the outfit.
Well, they were fantastic, and you can see a couple of them, especially up in their forward line when you talk about Rusling, Thomas, Cloak, who had a sensational year last year. Look, they really spread the load. Nathan Brown at centre-half back, he's got a big task today. I don't think he'd go with Pavlich, but we'll just have to see what happens in there. As you can see, the Pies, they were sensational last year. They were just brilliant, and to get one kick away from a grand final, I think all their youngsters played above themselves, Alistair.
Certainly did, and there's one, number 19, Cameron Wood. Had the 6 games at the Brisbane Lions and is having a second chance at AFL football via the Lexus Centre and the Collingwood Football Club. A massive day, as we said earlier. Fine conditions. The crowd is still starting to roll in. Looks like probably about 30,000 here already, but we expect probably around the 55,000 people mark. And down on the Barringer line is one of the best commentators in the business, Lee Colbert, and he's catching up with Mick Malthouse.
Mick, preparation's done. Round one is here, and it's a beautiful day. Dry mouth, sweaty palms. I suppose it's must be early in the season, because this is the field you've been wanting since September last year. We have a little bit of a break, then we get into it, and it's finally arrived.
And yourself, you still get nervous. I saw you out there playing the footy. You were playing with the footy on the middle of the ground there. Obviously, as you said, the adrenaline's pumping already, and 25 years of coaching, you still got it.
Well, I reckon if that deserts you, that's when you've got to start to question what it's all about, because really, they're extraordinary people out there because they have got an extraordinary talent. And I suppose that's one of the things about coaching, is to see that competition. And we're playing a side that's extraordinary. And to see two sides pitted against one another, or individuals pitted against one another, that's the driving force. And I guess while that's there, you're always going to get the sweaty palms and the dry mouth and the butterflies and I suppose high expectations, but never surprised at the unknown.
Thanks, Mick. All the best for the year.
Thank you. Thanks, mate.
And there is one of Mick Malthouse's favourite players, I would think, the 2007 Copeland Trophy winner, Tony Shaw. He's been in very good form.
Oh, he was sensational last year. I think he improved because a man, Chris Tarrant, also went to Fremantle Dockers. And this man here has been taken into the leadership group, Scotty Pendlebury. Looks like he might start on the bench, but gee, he is a player before his time. I think he'll be a superstar and probably a leader of this club in the future.
Without doubt. And the Fremantle Dockers, we've looked for a couple of years now, a very talented outfit. Look through that lineup, and there's some talent all over the place. Des Headland, the former Brisbane Lions player, in the midfield. He had a good year last year, but will be looking to step up again and drag a few of the youngsters with him.
Well, look, they are a side that I think really need to make the top four now. They are close to it, and one man I think who could take them that next step is Luke McFarlane. Luke McFarlane probably play across half-back today, but he could play. He's a swingman. He can play at both ends of the ground, and as you can see, he's got some durability because he only missed that one game in 2007.
And there's a man in his first game, another Essendon player that has come across to the Fremantle Dockers, Mark Johnson, 194 games with the Essendon Football Club, a premiership player, enormous amount of experience, and he's going to be an important factor, especially in this game, but throughout the season.
Well, Mark Harvey's done that. He's recruited in his coaching staff also some experienced recruits. Dean Wallace from Essendon, Chris Bond, a long-term coach at the Bulldogs, Chris Scott, of course, your ex-teammate down from the Brisbane Lions, and Mark Johnson and Kepler Bradley. Big year for Kepler Bradley, but there isn't an Essendon tinge there with Mark Harvey coming to Freo.
Without doubt, and there's a fairly tough tinge to it as well. As we have a look around the MCG, the crowd is certainly starting to build, and we'll be back for the first bounce, round one, after the break. And the coin toss, Josh Fraser and Matthew Pavlich. And it looks like Matthew Pavlich has won the toss, and he'll kick to the city end or the right of screen. And as they run back out into their positions to have their last minute fine-tuning, we'll go down the Lee Colbert on the boundary line.
Thanks, Lynchy. Yes, big crowd in. The Magpie Army are here in force, and of course it's beautiful conditions, so look out, round one. It's going to be special today, I'm telling you.
Thanks, Colby, and we'll be touching base throughout the day. And the last minute chat, obviously, Scotty Burns, the new Collingwood captain, isn't out there, and a few of the big names that we've known over the last few years, Buckley, Lucuria and Clement, will not take part, obviously gone into retirement. Simon Prestigiacomo still struggling with that foot injury. But the man that's going to be calling the ball-by-ball contest throughout the day, John Casey. Case, welcome to the MCG for season 2008.
Thanks very much, Alistair. Yes, hello everybody. Both these teams just 1 and 3 in the pre-season, which is bottom 4 on that ladder, but the bookmakers have them both top 4 for the regular season. Collingwood, as you mentioned, without Buckley, Clement, Lucuria, some 700 games and 10 Copeland trophies go there. But Fremantle, well, they are missing Shane Parker, the game's record holder, Troy Cook and Justin Longmuir, so 500 games experience go there. And the Dockers have made 10 changes to the team that lost in round 22 to Port Adelaide by 32 points. Chris Tarrant, though, well, his form in the corresponding game last year, which was round 10, he had a career-high 27 disposals against his former team. He would like to turn it on here at the MCG.
A massive day, there is no doubt. Collingwood probably maximised their opportunities last year. Tony Shaw went very close to making a grand final. But Fremantle Dockers were probably the disappointment with St Kilda in the competition, and they just desperately need to, on a big stage, to get off to a very good start.
Well, they do, and what they need to do is win a number of games in a row. They couldn't win more than 2 games in a row last year, so that showed their inconsistency. And it's already started. We can see Anthony Rocker, and it looks like, I think it's Grover, might get the job on Anthony Rocker. And McFarlane, that man we talked about before, he'll be starting on Rusling.
Scott McLaren, who umpired the grand final, gets us underway from the MCG round 1. Sandilands with the opening tap. And now they squirt the ball out, and it's coming to Solomon, who works Fremantle forward. McManus the target. Maxwell right there with him. Pavlich getting involved intelligently. Quick whistle supplied and a push in the back. The first free kick has been won by Ryan Crowley.
And he goes deep, looking for Pavlich.
Pavlich strong, can't take the mark. Farmer lurking. Lockyer dragged down. Pushed to the ground. Free kick. Collingwood play on. O'Brien. Support coming there from Egan, who retreats now. And Egan gets involved again. Not a lot on offer for him, though. Needs to get busy. Undecided. Play on is the call. And shut down quickly as well. Goldsack. Again, Egan involved. Bounce didn't favour Cloak. Trying to shake him, Gilmore. Now Crowley, who's been busy, finds Gilmore available on the half-back line, trying to get out of trouble. Good smother from Dale Thomas. Travis Cloak comes up with a loose ball, looks into the pocket. Couldn't reel it in, Sean Rusling. Coming across solidly, Daniel Gilmore. Rusling goes again. Ball stays in play. Dockers withstand the pressure so far and now look to come off the half-back line. McFarlane Out to the lead of McManus. Going with him here, Nick Maxwell. Sweeping hand pass. He has two teammates available. It's Shane O'Brien. Good for the pass, right onto the chest of Alan Didak.
That was a very intense start to the first 2 minutes, as you'd expect the first few minutes of round one. Good pressure from the Fremantle Dockers to hold up the ball, but the work ethic of Collingwood to work their way in numbers, put pressure on the ball carrier, and to ultimately hit the target inside the forward 50. Now this is where Collingwood's had a lot of trouble over the last 12 months, kicking goals from set shots. This is on a fair angle, so a difficult shot, but this man is probably the right one to have the ball in the hand of.
25 goals, 6 last season. He was deadly in front of goal. And Alan Didak opens proceedings here. It took just over 2 minutes.
Well, good start to the Pies. Alan Didak just got off his man, that's Dodd, who's playing on him. And what happened here, this contest was so important. McManus loses his footing. Everybody thinks it might be a trip, but it was accidental, no doubt. And Nick Maxwell, who's a different type to be playing on McManus, just a big handball outside 50. And then O'Brien, who we know just racks up possessions, found Didak. As you said, he's the man who can finish off as well as anybody.
Didak with a great start. Kicked a goal against Fremantle in round 10 last season. Opens proceedings. Umpire Chris Camelins restarts. Sandilands against Fraser. Shaw. Reeshaw onto the left boot. Attacking the half-forward line. Cloak comes out strongly. So too Roger Hayden. Can't find the ball. Cloak involved again. With time. Retreats. Uses the support of Reeshaw in the middle of the ground. Josh Fraser. Looks up. Goes to the half-forward line, and here's Rocker.
And that was a great grab by Anthony Rocker. Probably wasn't the best option. Went short to a contest, but very strong hands. And this man led the competition in 2007 contested marks in the forward 50. He's just outside the forward 50 here, which is probably his go as far as the range on kicking.
Yep.
He'll kick from 55 metres out. You can always get a little bit jumpy 20 metres out, but you think Collingwood could get off to a flying start here.
Kicked 5 goals straight against the Dockers in their round 10 game last season. Likes it off the boot, and Collingwood have got their second.
And he's absolutely flushed that one. Once again, very good signs for Collingwood. Travis Cloak's got his hand on the ball a couple of times. Reece Shaw's put himself into the game with 2 quick possessions, and things look very promising. And this is worrying signs for Fremantle. It is only very early in the game, but they were pumped up after a big pre-season. A lot of pressure's been put on them to make sure they get off to good starts, not only in games, but for 2008.
Dream start for Collingwood. 2 goals. We played 4.5 minutes here, term number 1. And the Dockers, who won only 2 of their 10 games on the road last season, behind the 8 ball. Johnson getting involved. Dispossessed. Josh Fraser had it for a long time. Quick kick. And missed everything there, Chris Egan. And Josh Carr with a free kick.
Just to rub salt into the wound, he's given away a free kick to Josh Carr there, but a little airy has caused a turnover.
Daniel Gilmore comes off the half-back line and with a bounce. Couldn't handle the mark there with Tarrant. Loose ball. Collingwood with numbers. Goldsack. Pavlich. Hot footy at the moment as Maxwell goes down. Now into space. This is Michael Johnson. Couldn't find it. Peter Bell through traffic. Retreats Grover. Slams it onto the boot. Pavlich can't take the mark. He's surrounded by multiple defenders. Goes again. Collingwood fans want a free kick, but we'll have a restart.
Gee, some great matchups in midfield. Collingwood defensive on ball. They've got Lockyer playing on Bell and Reeshaw on Headland.
Fraser with the tap. Dale Thomas a long way from the forward line to help out with Tarkin Lockyer. Nice disposal. Finds Reeshaw. He's looking for Didak, who's covering a lot of territory as well. Looking inboard.
Play on! Play on!
Told to play on. Up the boundary line. A little too wide, in fact. It's out of bounds on the full.
Luke McFarlane! Luke McFarlane!
What happened there? Matthew Carr's coming off the bench and nearly took the mark and got the free kick before he was on the ground.
I think that was...
That's our cameraman picked up then. Well done.
Very confusing there.
He wasn't even on the ground, didn't go through the interchange bench, and now he's standing on the boundary line. But mark that ball, nearly got an easy kick, not even on the ground.
Might give him a stat for it, though.
Move it on, Dotty. Play on. Play on.
Dodd from centre half back. Gets it to David Mundy.
They struggle to get their hands on the ball, Fremantle, and it's important Collingwood can go one-on-one to stop these short passes. See the forwards pushing right up the ground.
Dean Solomon to centre half forward. Sandilands on the end of it. Wants help provided by Headland, who's wrapped up by Didak. Dropped the ball. Roger Hayden grabs the loose ball into the pocket, and a free kick is going the way of Fremantle here. Matthew Carr.
Tough situation. I think Matthew Carr was pushing back hard.
And you know what's happened when I said he came off the interchange, he went straight to full forward. What's happening? Pendlebury looks like he might run with Matthew Carr, so Collingwood don't want Pendlebury to go back and play at full back. What they need is every time that change is made, hopefully he's going to play on ball but get another defender to do that job.
Important shot on goal.
Only 5 goals last season. Matthew Carr comes in. The Dockers could do with one. And he makes no mistake as Fremantle get their first goal after 7.5 minutes.
And that was good rotation from Mark Harvey and his match committee to get a mismatch up forward, or at least the midfielder pushing forward. And they're certainly doing that with the ruckman. Big Aaron Sandilands is taking his direct opponent in both Josh Fraser and Cameron Wood, pushing forward to try to have an exposure. Have a look at the contest there.
That is a free kick. As soon as you wrap someone up, they normally pay that.
Yeah, there was there's cases both ways, so it's very difficult to see a blood rule coming off the ground.
Good on you, mate. Waiting on Dane's one coming down.
So the blood rule.
I think that might be Cam Wood, is it?
That one there.
No, Nathan Brown. Nathan Brown's come from the ground.
Youngster playing his first game from North Ballarat. Exciting centre half back, and what a place to play your first game.
Cameron Wood from Brisbane into the ruck now for Collingwood against Sandilands. Gets his hand to the ball as well for Shane O'Brien. Collingwood inside, attacking 50 again. The mark has been taken here by Medhurst, the former Docker.
That's got to be 50.
He's milked that one nicely, hasn't he? Yes, he has. 50-metre penalty, making it a tough shot on goal from 50 metres out on an angle to the absolute goal line, and that is a great confidence booster for Cameron Wood. He jumped over Aaron Sandilands, which is no mean feat, and once again Shane O'Brien has given some silver service to his forwards. Medhurst goal.
Former Docker gets his first, and Collingwood extend their lead to 12 points.
Well, you just got to have a look at the free kick here. Great play by O'Brien, the clearance from the centre bounce, and no doubt about the mark. I'm just wondering whether Heath Black thought that Medhurst, he looked like he was going to take a step forward, thinking, and I tell you what, Paul Medhurst just took the dive. Here's the clearance, as Alistair Lynch called. Well done to Cam Wood. Beautiful ruck work, and O'Brien on his non-preferred, that is just as good. But gee, I tell you what, it looked like Medhurst might have tried to play on, but you cannot touch him. I know it's hard, but you don't give away a 50-metre penalty like that.
Collingwood 3 straight goals, 18. Fremantle 1 straight 6. And again, Wood climbing high against Sandilands to Reece Shaw with a hurried kick out to the wing. Good work from Roger Hayden. Solomon comes in, tackled when he didn't have it. No free kick forthcoming, and now it's holding the ball against Byron Shammer.
Great chase, Pendlebury.
Well, Collingwood were number 1 in tackles last year. They averaged 58 a game, so you know the pressure's going to be there.
Reece Shaw,
the rocker.
Disposal number 6, the most in the game so far. Looking for Cloak, couldn't find him. Medhurst involved again, has options. Quick kick out for Tarkin Lockyer. Into the pocket, acute angle, time to steady. Tarkin Lockyer gets a good look at them. But it's across the face of goal and a minor score.
He wanted to give that off, Tarkin Lockyer. He was looking inside, but had plenty of time and just probably rushed it in the end and pulled it to his left and one behind. But good signs, Reece Shaw looked to be traded to Brisbane at one stage during the pre-season, and he's got another chance at Collingwood and has started off on the right foot.
McFarlane looks out wide. Set a task there for Headland. Knocked down by Pendlebury. Here's Leon Davis. Started on the bench, having an impact straight away. Rocker comes out strongly. Again, Pendlebury in traffic. No problem for him. The disposal let him down. McFarlane to Shammer. Shammer's handball sold McFarlane into trouble. Play on the call. Reece Shaw taken down by Grover. Sandilands. Now Mundy. And Roger Hayden again.
They're applying great pressure. Collingwood, just Fremantle Dockers struggling to find any sort of space. Although now they've got a little, they have to make the most of this one coming out.
Solomon goes to Shammer.
Oh, that's nearly 50. Yeah, well done. Held him up. Tyson Goldsack on the mark.
Peter Bell looks for the lead of Tarrant. Couldn't find it. Taken out solidly by Rocker. Grover comes across. Handball over the top for McManus, who did that well against good opposition from Heathshaw. Looking for support out wide from Lockyer.
Rocker hurt Tarrant as well, struggling to get to his feet. Looked like he had the wind knocked out of him. That was a good attack on the ball. You've got to go. Yeah. These ones early. And Anthony Rocker has set the standard, went hard at his former teammate and Chris Tarrant.
Sandilands takes it out of the ruck dangerously. Peter Bell shrugs a tackle. Solomon. McManus tucked into the pocket. Around the body, Headland. Couldn't take the mark. Needs to clear the congestion. Now the ball comes out. Knocked over the line. In fact, out of bounds on the full.
Collingwood free kick. Just that Anthony Rocker, when you contest the ball like that, even to give away a free kick early in the game to try and set the scene with the physicality, and no doubt Collingwood, they're on top in that area at the moment.
Reece Shaw coming up for disposal number 7 in an enterprising first term. Not his best effort off the boot.
That looked like one of his uncle's kicks. Off the knee, shin, you name it. It's one area where he has to improve his game. It's been happening for a while, but just I think he takes one step and doesn't balance up. Like any footballer, young footballer, you learn from that.
Davis taken to the ground solidly by Byron Shammer. Umpire Scott McLaren will come in.
I tell you what, looking up the ground, you couldn't believe how open that the Fremantle Dockers forward line is. They have got, Collingwood have got more numbers behind the ball, but Fremantle players are coming up with them.
And big rotations for Collingwood as well, right across the ground. Travis Cloak off, Cameron Wood the centre half forward.
Solomon taken down strongly by Nick Maxwell. Tackling from Collingwood has been tremendous. 13 tackles to 10 here in the first term.
And it's not only the tackles that they've laid, it's the pressure they've put on the ball carrier. The tackle may not have been laid, but it's made it very hard for the Dockers to hit a target.
Solomon been busy, looks for Shammer. Handball missed the target. Headland with it now. Caresses the ball off the boot. Wanted Pavlich, couldn't handle the mark. Now Collingwood have O'Brien sweeping the hand pass for Lockyer.
And they're away again. Swan's going to be out on his own.
Heathshaw heads to Dane Swan now. He had 35 disposal against Fremantle in round 10 last year. Ruslan couldn't take the mark. Now he's got problems from Johnson, who did that well. Peak to Roger Hayden as Fremantle look to rebound.
Not a great kick.
Dave Pavlich, nothing to work with. And it's Marty Clark. Handball out now for Shaw, who looks for Didak. Over the boundary line in advance of Stephen Dodd.
Well, the one thing about Fremantle Dockers, we're talking about the different setups in the four-line. Collingwood a lot of space, but gee, they keep going to Matthew Pavlich. You've got to make sure that you can get the ball to his chest, not his toenails.
Fraser the front position. Didak runs onto the ball, taps it intelligently. Leon Davis looks to shrug a tackle. Unable to do so. And Fremantle clear the danger zone. Putting his body on the line, Mark Johnson did that well against Clark. Inboard for Headland. And now the run coming from Peak. Shane Pavlich the target, a little too high, and Collingwood looked to clear through Shane Wakeland under pressure from Jeff Farmer, forced to kick hurriedly. Lockyer did well.
Controlling the defensive half, Collingwood.
Leon Davis at centre wing.
Swan
spears the pass for Dane Swan, not going to make the distance. Swan, non-preferred right leg, brings it inside.
Yeah. But even there, Fremantle Dockers player was sitting off Dane Swan.
Roger Hayden, he's very good with the ball coming forward, but so loose in defence.
Gave him too much time, ended up, missed the target in Cameron Wood. He got the free kick for a holding off the ball, but just giving too much time to the ball carrier to have a look around, assess the options and hit a target. Cameron Wood line up for goal. Former baseball pitcher, had a US career on the verge and decided to go with the AFL football.
Well, he played 3 years with Brisbane, never kicked a goal. Playing his first game for Collingwood, Cameron Wood comes in, he's hit the post.
That one high and outside was his pitch.
You'll see him play there a lot. Collingwood have always needed another tall forward who can play in behind Anthony Rocker. They can push Rocker up the ground sometimes, and Cameron Wood's done that in the last 2 practice matches of the season.
Heath Black restarts for Fremantle. David Mundy still inside their defensive 50. Surveys his options. And Dean Solomon coming up for disposal number 6. The most for the Dockers.
Go hard.
Well done.
Pavlich a task and coming back with courage, Dale Thomas.
That's great from a youngster.
Yep.
He's been super since he's been in the competition. Played 41 of his possible 48 games, and an enormous amount of courage. Just unsure what's coming at you.
Off the side of the boot. Up high. Crowley. Johnson. Heath Black with the support of Mundy. Did that well, evades Rocker. McFarlane. Now to the run of Stephen Dodd. Needed to be quick. The disposal suffered as a result. Harry O'Brien leads the charge against Jeff Farmer. Good hustle there from Farmer just to keep the pressure on. And the ball out of bounds. We've played 17 and a half minutes.
Well, you can see coming out of the fence, they haven't hit the target on a number of occasions, Fremantle, and they were 14th last year, and they're at 84% coming out of their defensive half, which means you've got to hit the target a little bit more. That's their problem so far in this game.
Yeah, not handling the pressure through the midfield that's been applied by Collingwood. Probably got to use the ball a bit longer, take a bit of pressure off trying to hit the lace-out target. Give Pavlich a one-on-one contest deep.
Collingwood by 14 points.
Cloak back on the ground.
Wrestling for position there against Gilmore. Now Peake. Goes out wide.
Stay there, Cloaky! Run there!
Shammer the target. Chips it into the middle. Mundy.
Stay there, Nick! No closer!
Again, they zigzag their way forward. This is Heath Black in space, though.
This is the kick that's causing the problem.
60 metres out. Goes to the goal front. At the back, Jeffrey Farmer lurking. Not his best effort, though. And it's going to trickle out of bounds with the help from Harry O'Brien.
Well, talk about that. What they've got Chris Tarrant playing at full forward on Wakeland. Now, he's got leg speed on him. Bring him to centre forward. Put Pavlich back as a long kick because Pavlich isn't marking the ball at the moment anyway.
Pendlebury out of the traffic. Works it to the advantage here of Medhurst. Needs to be good. Didak on a long lead. He's covered some ground.
And that had to be good. Didak had covered 70 or 80 metres to find space, but it was a 2-on-1 contest and has turned it over.
Sean Rusling went backwards instead of running at the ball carrier. Didak, you could see him just wave his hand to say, come forward.
Back a metre! Thank you!
Shammer. Disposal number 5.
So what, they're racking up a lot of possessions. I don't care about disposals. If you're not going to get the ball inside your 50, and here's that man, Tarrant. They push him up the ground.
That's his first touch. That's where he has to go. Wakeland's been very tight on him.
Pavlich on the lead. Good defensive effort there from Collingwood.
That's stopping the ball.
Strong tackle from Crowley. Goes unrewarded. Shammer. Close quarters, Hayden. Dances around one would-be tackler. The pass, though, cut out. Courageous work from Heath Shaw.
Great grab. But the problem is, once again, with Fremantle going short to a contest. When Farmer had a shot on goal, he kicked the ball out of bounds. But when he had that shot, it was deep and long to the top of the goal square. Put an enormous amount of pressure on the defence. But continue short to a contest, causing turnovers, and they're opened up on the other way.
Fremantle with numbers. Roger Hayden to evade Reece Shaw. Under pressure as well, Dodd. Hayden hurriedly forward. Only as far as Heath Shaw, who plays on quickly. No look handball over their head for Goldsack. He's looking into the middle of the ground. Chris Egan. On the lead, Thomas. Likewise, Fraser coming out strongly. Fremantle again with numbers. Shammer there to help out. Josh Carr deep in defence. An intelligent pass to set Brett Peake free.
Should give it a Shammer, which he does.
Only 2 Fremantle players inside their attacking 50. Looks for Pavlich, who takes the mark right on the 50-metre mark.
He could kick this. Anybody in this competition can kick this. I know every time outside 50, I think it's about a 15% success rate of converting. but he's the man you want the ball, in his hands. You're right about the shortness of play from Fremantle. Just they've got to set their forward line up a bit more with an aggressive, tall bloke. Maybe put Sandinglands 5 inches in the square for a bit of height.
72 goals last season to lead Fremantle for the 4th time in their goal kicking. Pavlich measures it just across the face, sliding for a minor score.
They just can't get those half chances at the moment, the Dockers. And they did have a match-up long. That was Heath Shaw on Chris Tarrant just for a few moments when Pavlich took that mark. It would have been probably the better option. In the end, Pavlich took a good mark but couldn't convert from a long way out.
Running onto the ball here, Dane Swan. Looking for Cloak. Pass not a good one. He stays with it though, the Copeland Trophy winner.
Oh, good tackle.
Fremantle collapse on top of the ball. We're going nowhere. And umpire Ray Chamberlain will come in.
We have spoken only about Fremantle not being able to score a goal, but Collingwood have dried up a little bit too. It's been playing between the 50-metre arcs. So just got to get more ascendancy in the midfield.
Throw it out of that, Johnson.
Fraser into the back there of Michael Johnson has given away the free kick. Goes quickly. Looking for the run of Des Headley.
Free kick.
Yeah, you can't jump into the front of your opponent without the eyes on the ball.
Well, let's see who they go to here. Do they go long? Pavlich in the square.
Going deep, 55 metres out and missing completely. It's out of bounds on the full.
And I think it is driving Matthew Pavlich mad as well. He had the right spot. He was behind his opponent, had the whole goal square to himself, but couldn't hit the target.
Reece Shaw coming up for disposal, number 8. Called to play on, looks up to the wing. Maxwell well in front of Des Headland. From the half-back line for Travis Cloak. Good job there from Daniel Gilmore to force the ball out of bounds.
Well, if they're going to keep going to Matthew Pavlich one out, I just think they need to rotate their forward set up a little bit more. But Collingwood will just play off him. They'll zone off every time.
Josh Carr, handball going nowhere. And again, umpire Ray Chamberlain will come in and bounce. Almost 24 minutes played, term number 1. A little over 3 minutes remaining until quarter time as Maxwell clears the congestion for the mark taken here by Roger Hayden. Centering kick for Stephen Dodd.
No, just too slow getting off the mark there.
That's 50 metres.
Well,
unlucky because he looked like he wanted to switch and the play just tried to zone off. Dale Thomas, I think, was on the mark.
Now this is the one. They've got plenty of time here to all but have a set play. Some clubs will huddle up at the top of the goal square and try to put a few blocks on, or the best you can, without getting penalised.
The Farmer led, Pavlich led, so did Headland, and in the end,
straight to Fraser.
Dodd hoists it high to a 2-on-1. Bell keeps it alive, Pavlich lurking in the pocket. Kick partially smothered, play on is the call. Spills here to Johnson, works around the body. And the mark taken. A good job by Peter Bell.
Oh, Mick Moldhouse will be pulling his hair out. Peter Bell against Josh Fraser. Now, you can have the wrong side of the body, but body-on-body strength. Josh had to hold his ground. I don't think Mick Moldhouse, he might have thrown the phone to the floor on that one.
I reckon Peter Bell may have a little word to Josh Fraser if he can convert this opportunity as well. Power forward.
Bell comes in. It's taken 18 minutes since their first, but Fremantle have their second.
And Peter Bell did give it to Josh Fraser as well on the way past. He said, I've just thrown you around like a rag doll there and taken that mark. He's worked very hard.
Didn't he?
Yeah, we know Peter Bell will give the second and third efforts, and he was rewarded for that on this occasion when the ball's just been thrown on the boot, gone forward. He was in the right position, but took initial contact from Josh Fraser and just held himself under the ball beautifully. Good goal.
Three-time Fremantle best and fairest, Peter Bell. It's the goal. Kicked 28 last season to be third on their goal-kicking list.
I think that proves one thing, that a good little man always knocks off a good big man.
Thought it worked the other way, Shorey, but on
Round
313
one
games with
quarter
Collingwood,
in.
I'm not the man to argue. Here's Leon Davis, a good little man, getting Collingwood forward. Gilmore missed it.
Oh, they've run away from it. All three Collingwood players.
Gilmore came again. Michael Johnson shrugs the tackle of Travis Cloak. Looks up.
Oh, no, that's two.
Josh Fraser in best position takes the mark.
That's been the theme of the first quarter for the Dockers. Just their ability to hit forward targets. They've really struggled with that. Their defensive half has held up pretty well in this last 15 minutes of the first term, being able to repel many forward thrusts through the midfield of Collingwood. They've run it well off the half back, exactly like this, but they're struggling to hit targets themselves.
90 seconds to play, term number 1. Collingwood at half back.
And if you've got Travis Cloak having to get way up to half back to get his possessions, you'll take that as an opposition.
They would have drilled this a number of times, Collingwood, where they get it in long. Oh, but... So it has to be brought back. The umpire just said you cannot block unless it's called play on. And you heard it all from the umpire there. But as I said, Collingwood would be drilled here. They know now there'd be, under close to a minute to play. The runner would have gone out and said, all right, boys, if we're going to keep possession, let's try and work it through by possession instead of turning it over at halfback.
The rookie Nathan Brown with his first kick in AFL football. The 19-year-old goes deep. And Roger Hayden takes the mark.
Yeah, both defences have seemed to have been on top.
Josh Carr needs to be steady and is. Brings it out for the Wiz, and Jeff Farmer takes the mark. Plays on quickly.
He'll get it back here, Farmer.
Looks inboard, did that intelligently with the support here of David Mundy. O'Brien stands off him. Farmer gets it off quickly again. Shammer involved, needed to go over the top and does so now. For Mark Johnson. Shrugs the tackle, gets onto his favourite right foot, looks good off the boot. Mark Johnson has come up with his first goal for the Fremantle Dockers. We have a 1-point game.
Well, that is exactly what Collingwood didn't want from the wing. As I said, they would have been drilled to keep possession of the ball, to kick a long ball from the wing into defence, and a man unmarked kicks the goal, marks it, and then they switch play. Look at this, fantastic kick off one step by Johnson, but exactly what Collingwood didn't want was a late score by Fremantle, and all caused by kicking the ball forward without keeping possession.
His second kick for the Fremantle Dockers from Mark Johnson, the former premiership player and best and fairest winner with the Bombers, gets the goal. Fremantle back to within a single point. They've kicked the last two here at the MCG. Little over 29 minutes played, term number 1. Josh Fraser did that intelligently to Leon Davis. O'Brien gets it forward. What a hand pass. Leon Davis kept running, works it on to the boot, coming back, touched right on the line. Good defensive work there by Gilmore.
Some neat hands on the way through the midfield, little taps and some smart play. Nick might be just having a mention. Do you know how big Peter Bell is?
Siren imminent here to end term number 1 at the MCG, and Mick Malthouse strides out to address his team. They led by as many as 14 points midway through the first term. But at quarter time, Collingwood 3-3, Fremantle 3 goals 1. 2-point buffer for Collingwood. Fremantle hitting back with the last 2 goals of the first term to Bell and Michael Johnson. And at quarter time from the MCG, it's Collingwood leading by 2 points. Looks inboard, did that intelligently with the support here of David Mundy. O'Brien stands off him. Farmer gets it off quickly again. Shammer involved, needed to go over the top and does so now. For Mark Johnson, shrugs the tackle, gets onto his favourite right foot, looks good off the boot. Mark Johnson has come up with his first goal for the Fremantle Dockers. We have a 1-point game. Well, Mark Johnson started on the bench, but he's had an influence here. Fremantle kicking the last 2 goals of the first term, down by as many as 14. We have a 2-point spread here at the end of 1. 3 goals 3, 3 goals 1. Mundy and Shammer 9 apiece for the Dockers. Heath Shaw and Reece Shaw with 8 apiece, the leading possession gatherers on the ground so far.
And sure, it was a very intense start. As you expect, first game of the 208 season, the pressure was right on. Plenty of chase and tackles. Disposals fairly even. Collingwood got off to a bit of a flyer. Fremantle fought back very well. Marks very even. And clearances well and truly in favour of the Pies. So you look at inside 50s. Fremantle went in more times, but they just couldn't hit the target. And that was the real difference. In the second half of that first quarter, they had the ball in their hands, but the ability to try to hit a Tarrant or a Pavlich certainly wasn't there.
I thought Collingwood's tackling was brilliant early part of the first quarter, and they got out to a good start, but then that dropped off a bit, the work rate, because you're going to feel it in your first game of the season, and that meant that they got some control across halfback Fremantle. Some of their midfielders started to come into the game. Carr and Bell got a little bit more of the ball, kicked a very good goal, of course, outmarking Josh Fraser. But I think, again, Mick Mull has to be very unhappy about that late goal, because they had control of the ball, Collingwood, with a minute to go on the clock, and normally they will milk the clock down to get to quarter time. But look, good game. I think they just lifted their work rate, Fremantle, right in the end. And it looks like we might be able to go down to Lee Colbert and with Guy McKenna from Collingwood.
Blue, big first quarter. Got out of the blocks, but they come back late. A bit frustrating.
Yeah, that was disappointing. We just let our guard down a bit, so we got to play the quarter out, as you know.
Thanks, mate. Get back up there.
Cheers.
Just managed to grab Bluey McKenna, former West Coast Eagles champion, and obviously Collingwood assistant coach, just as he's running up to the box. They would have been a little bit disappointed, the match committee from Collingwood, with that last 10 minutes of the quarter. Like Fremantle, just struggled to hit targets. They tended to go short to a contest as well, and a couple of long balls that did go in to have contested marks taken by the defensive half of Fremantle Dockers is just not what you want.
O'Brien there with Crowley and Josh Fraser ready to do battle again with Aaron Sandilands.
And Sandilands certainly was getting his hand on the ball with Fraser in the first part of the early quarter.
Sandilands looking at Fraser, knocks him down, gets the tap. Free kick going to Peter Bell. Brings it out wide. Strong lead from Des Headland.
Beautiful kick, and as we talk about, it's often very difficult off one or two steps to hit a target over that sort of distance, but Peter Bell did on that occasion just the 2 steps. Des Headland, who moves very well as a leading forward, got on the end of a nice pass.
Goal kicker here against Collingwood, round 10 last season. Headland a little off the boot, not going to make the distance. They contest in the goal square. Pavlich has got it, threw that away, and Collingwood look to clear. Lockyer, Dane Swan.
Nowhere to go long, nowhere at all.
They did that well to relieve the pressure for O'Brien.
Held the ball up because there was only Dockers players down the flank.
Now O'Brien goes long. Coming out Medhurst. With him Roger Hayden. Dockers with numbers. Josh Carr taken down and will get a free kick.
Gee, Collingwood forward line, Fremantle forward line. Tarrant's been picked up by Shane Wakeland. They might be able to isolate him to get Tarrant's speed into the game. And Nathan Brown's got the big job on Matty Pavlich. The coach asking a big task of a youngster.
It is a good effort.
They go to Pavlich, and here he is taking the mark. Just his second in the game. Tarrant calling for the ball. Yeah, Pavlich honours the lead. Tarrant gets there and takes a great sliding mark.
Wakeland's on the ground 40 metres away. Must have got a block, and he has not been given any space to Chris Tarrant. Tarrant, as you touched on, needs to use, he's been called play on here.
Oh. Collingwood grabbed the loose ball. Short. Fumble. Under pressure, he's got some problems. Play on is the call. Pavlich throws it onto the boot.
Oh, smart play.
Ryan Crowley takes the mark.
Give him credit, Johnny. I think he meant that. I think he just had that vision where he had one hand held, but just to get that ball forward, he looked at the corner of his eye, and that's what great players have got, peripheral vision. Don't know what happened with Chrissy Tarrant on the reap.
He's been called to play on here very early. Not sure. I think he just counted him down as you've held the ball too long. Time to play on.
Crowley would need his best effort from right on the 50. Looks good off the boot. Ryan Crowley kicks the goal. Fremantle in front for the first time.
Smart use of the ball from the Dockers to find Crowley in a little bit of space. But Chris Tarrant was on the end of have a look here, Pavlich. He's been held up. He saw Crowley in a little bit of space, and they're only the very elite in the competition have the awareness and the confidence just to chip one over the top to an open target. something the Fremantle Dockers really needed. They've got off to a very good start in this second term.
Ryan Crowley with a history of kicking goals against Collingwood. And the Fremantle Dockers have now kicked the last 3 goals in the game, bracketed across quarter time to take the lead for the first time. Umpire Scott McLaren gets us back underway. Sandlands with a tap, O'Brien with the crumbs though. Egan, now Maxwell. Good acceleration away from the danger, and he finds Anthony Rocker.
Got to get up quick. There's a one-on-one contest.
Oh, he can go all the way here.
Rocker from inside the centre square, leans back. Not the distance, not the accuracy, though. It's a minor score.
I like him doing that because it can lift your side so much. You know, even if he took a bit more time, he would have kicked the distance.
Roger Hayden may have stepped over the line there, and that has been the call from umpire Ray Chamberlain.
That is a bad mistake, but you're right. Big Anthony Rocker, he flushes those from outside 50. It is a team lifter.
Gee, Sandylands, you'd hope that he's down there if he's still on the ground to get some height to belt this one through.
Michael Johnson will go against Josh Fraser. Ball dangerously camped at the top of the goal square for Collingwood. Josh Carr shrugs a tackle, did well, finds Peter Bell. Wheeling and dealing in traffic. Looks out wide, leading the race here, Lockyer. Smart hands, got it to Egan. He retreats. Wakeland measures the pass for Rocker.
Now this will test even Anthony, but he'd give it a fair shake, I would have thought. Well, a big barrel would be great, Chewy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, big talk.
He is too. Oh no, drop front.
Drop front has got plenty on it, right to the goal square, and taking a mark, and a strong one at that, Stephen Dodd.
They've been good, Dockers. That's about their 3rd defensive contested mark in their defensive half, and that certainly is a strength of the Fremantle Dockers. Something that Mick Malthouse would be very disappointed with. Just shouldn't happen when you've got a number of players around to concede that mark.
They need a lift from Sean Rusling. He just hasn't had an impact on this game at all. 2 possessions so far, both handballs.
Grover gets it from McFarlane and looks up. The good run here of Daniel Gilmore.
And that is better running from Gilmore there.
Pass for Jeffrey Farmer, tucked in on the boundary line. Brett Peake joins in as well. Now Farmer measures the pass, looking for Pavlich. He did a good job.
That was perfect pass. And we just saw Brown and Wakeland swapped opponents in the congestion, and Wakeland just couldn't get anywhere near Pavlich there. It was a beautiful pass. No one was going to get near that sort of kick from Jeff Farmer.
I love Shane Wakeland, but you've got to say, take him to the top of the square. Whoever he goes to has to be your target coming forward. He cannot keep up with Pavlich, and he cannot keep up with Tarrant.
3rd in goal kicking last season in the AFL with 72 majors. Pavlich from the 50 unloads. Looks good, is good. The Dockers extend their lead.
Beautiful kick. And Pavlich is starting to flex his muscles. Have a look at the other end. This is contested possession or contested mark. It just shouldn't happen in a pack of about 6 or 7. To concede a defensive contested mark is just not on. See, just nice work from Farmer. Didn't hammer that one in, just chipped it out in front of Pavlich. And for any defender, it is going to be very difficult, and only the class forwards kick him from there.
Well, arguably the AFL's most versatile player, Matthew Pavlich, a 5-time All-Australian in 5 different positions, including fullback and full forward. The Dockers have kicked the last 4 goals and enjoy a 9-point lead. Going at it again, Josh Carr evades Pendlebury. The hand pass wasn't a good one. Had Michael Johnson going nowhere. Maxwell hacks a kick out of there and got good distance with it. Cloak at centre half forward. Brought the ball down well, swings around to the goal square. And over the back, defensive work supplied there by Luke McFarlane.
It's not Sean Rusling's strong point. He's not a good mark over his head. He needs to get on the lead. Was that holding the jumper or the arm? Well done, the umpire. I think they were both holding a little bit there.
But the thing there was, it just wasn't to his advantage.
No.
It just needed to be a couple of metres in front so he could go forward to it.
Cameron Wood. Now Rocker comes across. Didak joining in. Heading away from goal. Roger Hayden takes the mark in advance of Anthony Rocker. As Peter Bell running past. And good option as Bell seeks out Jeff Farmer. Told to play on.
Good kick.
Well weighted, looking for Josh Carr.
And leave Colbert down on the boundary line. You got something for us, Colby?
I have, Lynchy. Tony Shaw, they must have listened to you, mate, because in the first quarter you mentioned Fremantle's forward line. They've jigged it around. Sandilands does the ruck in the centre square, and then he pushes forward, and it's certainly worked in Fremantle's favour up until now.
Medhurst drives long. Rocker at the back. Takes the mark, nudged his opponent under the ball.
Oh, there's an umpire just was thinking about blowing the whistle. Oh, there's another contested mark in the defensive half against Collingwood.
McFarlane to Mundy, and now Jeff Farmer.
I think he said he nudged with his forearm, but if you nudge any time, it doesn't matter. You can't nudge. You can't push in the back. See, Jeff Farmer's been up the ground, John.
Working hard, measures the pass, hits Pavlich on the chest.
One-on-one, Sandilands on the square.
Dockers looking dangerous. Sandilands against the undersized Wakeland, who worked him under the flight of the ball. Cameron Wood for Nick Maxwell. Underground pass. He's sure the target. Brett Peake, though, came up with the ball and has support. And he's going to need it as well as he works back to the boundary side. Now deep. Johnson out strongly. Lockyer with the spoil. And now Shane Wakeland, the luxury of a bounce.
Rocker's 50 metres by himself on half-forward flank. They're not going to get it to him.
Won't go there.
Pendlebury couldn't take the mark. Appeared to be taken high by Matthew Carr. It goes unwhistled. Inside they find Dane Swan. He goes deep for Didak, who works in there behind Stephen Dodd, and Alan Didak will come in. He kicked the first goal for Collingwood, and he kicks this as well.
Well, Stephen Dodd, I think it's a dangerous position to play just forward of Alan Didak at any time. And on that occasion, he tried to kick the ball off the ground. Just hold your position. They worked it well down the wing, Collingwood, and Swan got involved in a number of possessions. But here it is. You go to the front of Alan Didak. I think you've got to play on his shoulder and push him forward and try and get the hand, especially with some... he's got a bit more height on him, Dodd. But a smart play on Alan Didak. That's his second goal. Much needed by Collingwood.
Collingwood's first goal since the 9-minute mark of the first term.
Loves being goal side Didak, as you touched on, Tony. He's very dangerous, doesn't want to get caught up the field too far, and always likes that space behind, and he was very good there. Nudged his opponent under the ball and converted a much-wanted goal for the Pies.
Sandilands with a tap. Matthew Carr wrapped up by Cameron Wood, and will have a restart.
It's been quite good, Wood in the ruck there, and I think Brisbane will be pretty disappointed he's gone now that Bo McDonald's retired as well.
Wood in traffic. Tried to slap it out. Peter Bell for Sandilands.
Good pressure. Both sides, great pressure. Great pressure from both sides. Just Jeff Farmer, he's had an impact. Harry O'Brien's got the job on him, but they seem to push him up in the midfield a little bit more, Jeff. He might have done a bit more work on his fitness this year.
Well, Mundy dropped it. And now wins a free kick. Caught a little high. There's plenty on offer here in the forward line. Getting back, Des Headland with the run of the ball against Goldsack. And also Reece Shaw coming across with some authority. Solomon wanted a free kick for kicking in danger. Harry O'Brien's coughed it up. And now Solomon looks into the pocket for Des Headland. Great work from Pendlebury.
Two youngsters, Pendlebury and even Goldsack, just 30 seconds beforehand. Goldsack could have given away the free kick by going back very hard towards Des Headland, but on that occasion, Pendlebury got a fist in. Very good play from two of the young stars at Collingwood.
Wood at the back. Sandilands with the tap, was looking for Headland. Victim of a poor bounce. Dockers with the momentum at the moment. McManus shrugs a tackle, has a bounce, almost into trouble. Sandilands needs help. Roger Hayden there to provide it. He measures the pass, and the Dockers with numbers, and Des Headland takes the mark.
Well, one area that the Dockers, 7 minutes before quarter time, we said they started to get control across their half-back line. That has continued. Their defence is on top, but it's happening in the midfield now. You know, the Carr brothers have had a bit of an impact. Of course, Bell late in that first quarter has continued on. They're just getting numbers. And also Hayden now looks like he's nearly a loose man in defence, which Collingwood don't want that to happen.
Carr's been very good. Had the 5 disposals already in this second quarter.
Des Headland comes in 35 metres out. Not much of an angle, but he's missed to the near side. It's a minor score for the Dockers. Tarkin Lockyer to restart. Dangerously. It's come unstuck. Good work from McManus. Headland on the left boot high. Mark Johnson came out strongly. Farmer mishandled the ball. Wrapped up and the tackle. And umpire Ray Chamberlain comes in.
The Dockers are playing man-on-man from the kick-out. Gee, you shouldn't have those interceptions when man-on-man. Go into the centre, huddle up and just block for each other. Try and get a loose man out to the flanks.
Sandilands with the front position. Tapped it straight to Brown though. The teenager works it to the wing. Gilmore up early. Now has to retrieve it again. Dale Thomas in traffic. Did that with sublime skill. Looks to the half-forward line and Anthony Rocker. Waited for the bounce. Now Grover has the run of it. Hayden to supply the Shepherd. And the Dockers clear.
They're finding space through the midfield now, the Dockers, and on across half-forward. Just the Collingwood defensive half and midfield is just dropping off a little.
Pavlich on the lead. Nice pass from Daniel Gilmore.
Now, Tarrant's got to work hard to get off Wakeland to get into some space.
Pavlich goes beyond him. Coming out strongly was Goldsack, upended his opponent there in Crowley, and now it's Tarrant tucked in on the pocket. Matthew Carr around the body. Strong work from Maxwell. Thumps it toward the boundary line, and Shane Wakeland is there. Coming back dangerously to the goal square, but Tarkin Lockyer has time and space. Lockyer's pass to Chris Egan. Out wide, you'll find Heath Shaw, who kept running. Has some space. Lockyer kept running as well, but Heath Shaw back inboard.
Just holding them up, aren't they? Doing a good job at the moment, Fremantle.
And once again, this is the kick that is really struggling to find a target.
Rocker in the square.
Cloak, not his best effort.
And once
slewed
again,
off the side of the boot. The mark taken here by McFarlane.
Well, that's Rusling's man. I think you've got to make a change with their setup. They're probably too tall, not working hard enough on the lead at the moment, Collingwood Talls. They're forward, so make a change. Go with the small, see what McFarlane does.
Wait for the call.
15 minutes played, term number 2. 4-point lead for the Fremantle Dockers. Crowley escorts it over the line.
Just being played on Fremantle's terms at the moment, although the scoreboard it doesn't show it, doesn't, only the 4-point difference.
Josh Carr with quick hands for Dean Solomon, who works it to a former Essendon teammate here, Mark Johnson. Wheels around onto the right boot, is looking for Farmer. Great job there from Harry O'Brien to get a fist on it. Medhurst, the former Docker, acrobatically. And Pendlebury takes the mark. Goes short. It's Marty Clark. Well, he has Rusling available on the wing. Not much else.
He led from the square then, Sean Rusling, but probably don't want to get him that far up the ground.
It's probably get him into the game, maybe get a few touches, get his opponent away from the ball, away from the goal square where he's been dominating.
Gilmore with the run of it. Handball over the top. Mundy against Rusling. Needs support back to Gilmore. In the half back line and retreating further to Anthony Grover.
It's one-on-one most of the way around the ground. Although there's a Dockers player in front of the Southern stand by himself.
That's where it goes. McFarlane, I think, is it?
Luke McFarlane.
He's got to find a man now and force Fremantle to kick long to a contest and force the turnover.
Gee, they're coming back in the corridor.
Well, that wasn't good enough. They should have had a man there.
Gilmore charges into the centre of the ground. Pavlich comes out strongly. Josh Carr couldn't find it. He may do now. Taken high. Told to play on. Pavlich off a step. No distance with the kick. Matthew Carr trying to draw a free kick, but Dale Thomas out now to Renshaw. Looks inboard. Intelligent kick. Wasn't a lot on offer for him ahead of that. Medhurst under pressure. Hayden with support and needed it from Josh Carr, who works at the Sandilands to Shammer.
Pavlich is out on the outer wing.
Shammer took a long time to spot him, and that allowed Brown to come across. Good defensive play, working to the advantage of Pendlebury, and now it's Lockyer. Out on the lead is Rusling. against David Mundy, and Roslin will get the kick.
He'd be happy to get that free kick.
Would he what?
Just I probably spilt the mark.
Well, Rockers by himself in the square. Just, gee, they're holding him up, Fremantle. Numbers behind the ball. Collingwood have to be patient here now.
Well, I think you're right. They had to be more patient than that.
Wobbly kick from Medhurst. Rocker goes down under pressure, and it's a free kick against Anthony Grover.
He got the free kick. The dirty old floater came in, but it often can go to the advantage of a forward. Anthony Rocker tried to push forward to the drop of the ball and was held up by his direct opponent and got the free kick. Much needed, because the Collingwood midfield and half-forward line have just really struggled to hit targets. The back half of the Fremantle Dockers have been on top for the second part of the first quarter, and certainly most of this second term. Much needed goal. Doesn't miss these, does he?
You get a bit more nervous from about 30 metres out, and of course I coached Anthony for a number of years. I'd rather him kick from 50-metre arc every time. Just kick through the ball like you're kicking from 50, Anthony, and put it in the second row or the second level of the stand.
19-minute mark of the second term. Rocker makes no mistake. Collingwood back in front.
And he certainly does. It's in the second tier of the MCG grandstand, and that is a handy goal to Collingwood. It puts them up by 2 points, and it's been a big arm wrestle. The skills haven't been fantastic. The ability to hit targets with both teams has been down, and you can expect that in round one of a season. Certainly the guys are starting to blow up a little bit of lactic acid, and just haven't played at the tempo for a few months.
Especially Collingwood, who was 16th in effective disposals out of midfield last year.
Didak and Rocker kicked the first 2 goals for Collingwood. Didak and Rocker have kicked the first 2 goals for Collingwood here in the second term as well. Approaching time on. Collingwood started this term leading by 2 points, and that is the equation we have right now. Michael Johnson into the ruck for the Fremantle Dockers. Will be working against Josh Fraser. Fraser with a tap over the head again, was looking for Leon Davis. Brave work from Solomon, throwing himself at the ball. O'Brien overran it. Leon Davis to clean up for him. And Dane Swan quickly onto the boot, but only as far as David Mundy.
He just was out of the marking contest. The umpire has adjudicated and then took possession of his opponent, and you're instructed pre-season that'll be 50 metres every time.
You know why this rule's been brought in? Now everyone's going to watch this and say, what is happening with this sport for that to happen? And is there another 50?
Another 50
off the ball
for mouthing off?
Mouthing off.
Well, that would hurt. That would really hurt. But everybody watches the game, our great game of football, and sees that. They think, how soft is that? They have been told, they've been shown a DVD, as you said, Alistair. You cannot go over the mark once the man is markable. Even if you don't impinge on him, that's it. And there's an easy goal.
Dockers back in front.
And that is something coaches hate. Absolutely hate. 50-metre penalty is bad enough, but when you're 100 metres away from goal, give a free kick away and then just compound the problem, and next minute you're on the goal line conceding a goal. Mick Malthouse quite rightly wouldn't be too happy.
Well,
this one here, now this is that's the rule. Yep. That's the rule, and the players are well drilled. Now, if it was a spray that a Collingwood player's given, he won't be happy about that.
Mick Malthouse in the box. Not a happy camper. Almost 22 minutes played. Term number 2. Pendlebury wrestled to the ground. Headland grabs the loose ball, just spilled it. A lot of congestion. Ball going nowhere. And umpire Scott McLaren will come in.
Thanks, mate. Dino. Thanks, mate.
Mark Johnson getting some treatment. Shammer quickly onto the boot. Pavlich leads Nathan Brown, overran the ball. Lockyer comes in. Dockers have got it. Pavlich from 60 looks for Farmer. Harry O'Brien there again has done an excellent job.
Should have gone. I think Matty Pavlich one-on-one. Harry O'Brien just as quick as Jeff Farmer. That's saying something, but he's a lot bigger. Great spoil. Maybe go all the way with Matty Pavlich. One-step kick from 50.
Wood with the tap. Crowley overran it. Heath Shaw.
Danger.
Gets the ball outside 50.
Great play.
Peter Bell tapping it to the advantage of Shammer. Taken down in the tackle. Dane Swan wheels out of trouble. O'Brien looking out wide, running onto it now. Pendlebury with the support of Leon Davis. Cloak on the lead. Has 2 to beat. Gets into the back of one of his opponents.
Rustling hit high. He's down.
Come on, he's got to get up. The other Fremantle player get up. You've got to show the stripes here.
Mundy clearing kick.
Got a shoulder maybe. That's well done. He's back on his feet now.
Des Headley with the pass. Not a good one. O'Brien leads the charge. Gets it to Shane Wakeland.
Free kick off the ball. Downfield against Jeff Farmer. Lack of discipline here.
Now Rusling's well done. I've got to say this about Sean Rusling. Don't know if our boys can catch it now. He's coming straight up the ground. There he is. He's done a shoulder, but he got straight back up, and that's what you've got to do sometimes when you're in pain, to show your teammates you're fair dinkum out there. Well done.
Missed 17 games last season with a shoulder problem, Sean Rusling, and that does not look good. Lane Swan with the ball for Collingwood. They're down by 4. Leon Davis. Little over 3 minutes to play until half-time. Didak on the lead. Can't handle it. Fremantle with the answers at the moment. Shammer in the centre of the ground. Looks for Pavlich in the front spot. Can't take the mark. Here's Heathshaw. Good rebound up the half-back line. Intelligent pass for Didak. Rocker on the lead. Ball not going to get that far. Cloak comes back and takes the mark.
Yeah, had a look. It was good transfer of the ball out of the defensive half. Good work to get a spoil away. Young Brown spoil away from Pavlich. Heathshaw ran it out of the back line. Travis Coke had a little look, realised he had to go, and has taken a very good mark in front of the leading Anthony Rocker. And this has probably been, after a very good year, the slight problem with Travis Cloke. He hasn't been able to kick these opportunities, kicking at 40% last year.
Here he is from just outside 50, leans back with the left foot. Made no mistake here, and Collingwood in the seesawing affair back in front.
And that's something that will take Travis Cloke to the next level. If he can convert those opportunities from out around 50 metres, see the spoil here from Brown.
Done a great job, hasn't he?
Picked up by Heathshaw and just set the forward thrust up beautifully. Didak had a look, had plenty of time. Wasn't the best kick to Travis Cloke, but I think it was that McFarlane just lost his footing and went to ground. So it was an uncontested mark, basically, for Travis Cloke.
Travis Cloke, one of 7 Collingwood players who played all 25 games last season, and in 19 of those games he was a goal kicker. And Sean Rusling cuts a forlorn figure on the bench, head in his hands.
Well, I don't think he should be feeling like that. I think he should be proud of what he did. You know, he didn't stay down for long, and you know he's done his shoulder, so well done to the kid.
Didak launches Collingwood forward again. Rocker the target, and he takes a strong mark.
Centre bounce clearance there.
And Didak, 2 key touches into the forward 50, and Anthony Rocker has just...
And there's Cam Wood. They knew he was going that direction and followed up. Great athleticism there. Well done to keep the ball in play. You love Alan Didak coming forward, don't you, if you're a key forward?
And they've been very good, Fremantle, for this second quarter. Just to let a couple of goals through here, they'll be very disappointed, as Collingwood were in the first quarter.
Rocker looking at his 3rd and 2nd for term number 2, makes no mistake.
Well, centre bounce clearances are so important, but when you get them as clean as that from a ruckman, that is an issue. And you've got to ask what, you know, I don't know whether Sandilands was in at that ruck centre. No, it wasn't. Who's that? Johnson was up there. Well, they haven't got a key ruckman in the centre bounce, Freo. Maybe they made a mistake with their interchange, but Cam Wood, great athleticism to follow up. As we said, Didak, he'll find someone in forward 50 most times if he's unpressured. That was just sensational play. They've just got out now, and we'll just have to see who's going to see this game out in the second half.
Anthony Rocker with his 3rd of the afternoon. Collingwood have kicked 4 of the last 5 and enjoy an 8-point lead. Sandilands high. Pendlebury sharked the ball. Reshaw going nowhere, wrapped up by 3 Dockers.
Just wonder that both these sides travelled over pre-season, Johnny. They were both overseas. Collingwood, of course, high altitude, did a lot of training over there for nearly a month. See whether it pays off at the end of this game.
Dane Swan has Pendlebury in support. Telegraphed the hand pass, but Pendlebury was good enough to get it back to him. Dane Swan, 60 and closing, tugs it to the near side.
Just blasted away. Once again, a good opportunity to have a shot on goal. Thomas one-on-one, leading into some space. deep in the goal square. May have been another option.
Oh, not a great kick.
Pavlich had to sit underneath it. O'Brien with a spoil. Now it's Medhurst, the former Docker. High in the air. A contestant at goal square. And Anthony Grover over the top punches it through.
Now let's see if Fremantle have learnt what Collingwood did in the first quarter. Fremantle got a late goal. There's 40-odd seconds, nearly just under a minute left. They'd be told the runner would have been out there saying, let's keep possession. Try and hold the ball.
Plenty of time to set up a zone here.
Yeah, you can see him slowing it down now. They don't want to give away another goal here by turning the ball over. They'll just utilise the run the clock down.
Grover.
This is where you really got to be on your man's back. You know that they're not going to kick the ball long. You hope they do, and well, we'll see what happens with this turnover.
Sandilands gets to the contest. Crowley. Now Shammer. Over the top. Dockers with numbers. Mark taken by Michael Johnson.
Got to get it in quick now.
Looking for the lead of Mark Johnson. Maxwell with the spoil. Headland knocks it forward. Brett Peake runs onto it. Has support from Sean McManus. The veteran gets it off quickly. And with less than 5 seconds to play, Sean McManus gets a late goal for the Fremantle Dockers.
And Shorey, you were talking about red time goals, and coaches just despise conceding goals this late in the quarter. You've got to have the ability to make sure you do not concede these late goals, and to go in half-time 6 points down from where you should be would be very disappointing. 1 second on the clock in the first half.
.32-year-old Sean McManus, eldest Docker on the ground today, gets the goal in the shadows of half-time. They kicked 3 goals apiece in the first term. Collingwood and Fremantle, they've kicked 4 each here in the second.
At the footy, guys!
Scott McLaren with the bounce, and that is all for the first half. In a seesawing affair, the lead changed hands 4 times there in the second term. Been an entertaining affair.
Oh, it was sensational. You looked at the key forwards. Pavlich and Tarrant haven't had an impact for Fremantle, but now with Rusling off the ground, I know it's about, look, he's done a shoulder, and you hate to see that with anybody. It might help Collingwood balance up a little bit with a different setup, which wasn't working anyway. So key forwards could have played a big part in this second half.
4-point margin here at half-time. Collingwood holds sway. We'll have more for you right after this. Welcome back to the MCG. Collingwood kicked 3 of the first 4 goals to lead by 14 points in the first term. Then Fremantle kicked 4 in a row, bracketed across quarter time to hold a 9-point lead. At the moment, it's the Woods by 4 as we go down to Lee Colbert.
Thanks, Johnny. Yeah, well, the big news here is Sean Rusling. He's obviously hurt his left shoulder again. Same one he hurt last year, and does not look good. I just spoke to a couple of the Collingwood officials. And also Chris Egan. Well, he was in the news in the second quarter there. Mick Malthouse actually took him off the ground for this little indiscretion. Wasn't much in the initial play, but 50 metres awarded, and down he come. And unfortunately for Chris, he actually had a few words to Ray Chamberlain, the umpire, again. And sure enough, another 50 was awarded. So Mick Malthouse let him know when he came off the ground, and had a few words to Chris. So we've all been there, boys, but not a great feeling when the coach has given it to you down the phone.
Particularly after you've only played 1 game for the entire last season. So for Chris Egan, he had knee problems and missed 17 games. Top 10 draft pick in 2004. Back-to-back 50 metres to give up a goal. And that'll get you some attention from the coach.
Well, it will, but I've been pretty impressed with Chris today. You know, he's got to make his mark at AFL levels too. He's been at the club for a number of years now, but of course, as you said, 17 games last year, Johnny, he missed. He's talented. He can play across half-back. He can play on the wing and also come out of the square as a medium forward. So, look, this is going to be a great second half. I wonder how much the travel, like we said, overseas did to both these clubs. You know, are they tired? Clubs coming in the first round? You'd hope not. They would have freshened up in the last couple of weeks. I'm looking forward to Sandilands having an impact in this second half, and maybe the key forwards for Fremantle getting a lot more of the ball.
Underway in the second half, Collingwood lead by 4 points. Sandilands with the tap. Dane Swan, leading possession gatherer for Collingwood, throws it onto the boot. Here's Dean Solomon in traffic where he likes it. Didn't get much on the kick though, and Egan has taken the mark.
They've spread very well throughout the game, off half-back.
Dale Thomas
Didak, who's been running very well, is finding space now.
Just getting goal side there of Stephen Dodd.
Oh, umpire, please. I would love to see this. Unless he's used his hands in the back. I'm just thinking this is what bodywork's all about in the game of football. Well, said he took his eye off the ball, but you just you brace yourself for the contact, don't you, Alistair? What did you think there?
Yeah, they don't like it if you...
Don't look at the ball?
Yeah, if you don't look at the ball and take the run of your opponent away from the ball, you're going to be in a bit of strife.
Crowley almost run down. Floating kick to centre half forward. Josh Fraser tapping it, looking for the support there of Brown. Wheeling around Goldsack. Play on the call. Josh Fraser on it again. Egan. That two off the side of the boot. Evades Swan. Heath Shaw. Look away hand pass. Clark. Run down from behind by Jeff Farmer.
Well done, Jeff Farmer.
Yeah, that's what they want Jeff Farmer to be doing. And certainly not wrestling off the ball.
Tell what, Pavlich is in the 50 by himself here. That's where they go.
Dale Thomas can't prevent Pavlich taking the mark.
Now this one, both teams have had 5 marks inside 50 for the game each. Now 6, but that's probably not where you want big Aaron Sanderlands. Probably more at the top of the goal square.
I like the thought process though. Push forward hard, try and get there, but maybe in the centre corridor might help.
Certainly puts pressure on his direct opponent to man him up. Even more so if he slots this.
To the goal front. Strong mark taken by Josh Fraser, his opposite number. Heath Shaw. In the back pocket. Short hand pass for Clark. Back to Heath Shaw. Playing around with it. Deep in defence. Egan. Hangs it out and finds Dane Swan.
And once again, the defensive half of both teams have been well and truly on top. I can't remember an instance where a forward has taken a mark deep in the forward 50. All the forwards have got to push wide to get their opportunities.
Excellent disposal then from Reece Shaw to find Travis Cloak, who looks for Anthony Rocker against Grover.
Oh, that's a good grab. Free kick, but a very good mark for Anthony Rocker. This will even test him from about 55. I think difficult pocket, but that's a good mark. Good use of the body. Protected where the ball was going to drop.
This will go 20 metres over the goal umpire's head, Alistair. I don't think it'll test him from 50.
Kick Collingwood's last goal.
The accuracy's there.
The 26-minute mark, term number 2.
Oh, he's straightened up.
This one across the face. Sandilands can't take the mark. Peak is there, so too the dangerous Dale Thomas. Throws it onto the boot. Trying to win a free kick, getting no joy. Sandilands to Peter Bell in traffic. He finds a way through. Gilmore. Quick hands. Mundy. Now Jeff Farmer.
He's lost. He's on the half-back flank.
Going to be run down from behind.
Well,
great work from Nick Maxwell.
Wasn't used to being that far away from goal. He's 120 metres from goal, Jeff Farmer. But Nick Maxwell, great chase. He's shown tremendous courage throughout the day as well, putting himself back in front of Pavlich.
Wakeland, who arrived on the train here to get to the game this morning. Chris Egan measures the kick. Has Reece Shaw available, but it's cut out by Des Headland.
Forward 50 is wide open. Just got to find a short target, then go long to a Tarrant or a Pavlich.
Tarrant's on easy here.
Tarrant in the pocket. Coming late was Goldsack. And the mark has been paid.
Well, the umpire say control the ball, or did he have his arms chopped? We'll just have to wait and see.
He paid the mark. Actually, the signal was he paid the mark, so he thought Chris Tarrant had enough of the ball. We're just looking slow motion here.
Wow, you can't chop the arms anyway, can you?
He's probably grabbed enough of that. It was good contest. He's controlled the ball there.
Turnover up the other end from Chris Egan, though, didn't hit the target, and that's where the rebound came from.
Once again, missing targets across half forward.
5-time leading goal kicker for Collingwood, but to the joy of the fans, he's missed to the near side.
And he's struggled a bit today, Chris Tarrant. He's tried to get away from Shane Wakeland, but when he does push up the ground to use his athleticism, Wakeland just lets him go. He's happy to concede that kick. Not that he's taken many marks up on the wing, but Shane Wakeland certainly protecting the defensive half.
Heath Shaw goes short. Here's Maxwell. Started his career in number 43 for Collingwood. And to 27 now to the famous number 5. Pavlich Wrestling from behind. Nathan Brown, the rookie, doing a good job.
I'd still bring Tarrant up the ground. I think put Pavlich behind him. Tarrant up the ground. Wakeland, well, if you want to play off, you've just got to keep using Tarrant up.
Sandilands front position. Sharked though by Dane Swan. And escorted over the line by Peter Bell as we go to Lee Colbert.
Thanks, Johnny. Just taking note of Heath Black. He's actually on the bench as well for the Fremantle Dockers, and I don't think his day's over, boys. Like Sean Rusling, I don't think he'll take any further part.
He's had only the 2 possessions. He has been very quiet for a ball magnet as the Dockers go forward again. Wakeland taken high by Dean Solomon. Scott McLaren awards the free kick to Collingwood.
What happens if the train's late, John?
Oh, geez, he has caught one high there. Just the right shoulder of Dean Solomon.
I'd say Mick Malthouse would be upset again. Heathshaw coming up at disposal number 16. Called to play on. Looking out for Cameron Wood. Well, pitches in front of him. Tarrant into his back a little. Joining in Clark, the Irishman. Now Maxwell. Going to be run down. Got his kick away just in time. Rocker works to the front. Can't control it under pressure. Grover for Johnson. Michael Johnson. McFarlane. Gilmore. Clean bowl. Heard Didak coming.
Great
Didak
pressure.
trying to keep it alive. The ball is out of bounds.
Now, Heath Shaw has just got himself to his feet after being buckled over for the last few minutes in the defensive half. Be interesting to see if we've got any footage of what happened back there, but he's trying to suck in a few breaths.
Johnson, undecided. Goes short. Matthew Carr. To a contest at the wing. Wakeland takes the mark. Kick really gave Mundy no chance. Didak on the charge again. Reece Shaw working hard. Rewarded. Takes the mark just inside the line. Wants to go quickly to the goal face. Cameron Wood lurking. Couldn't get a run at it. Leon Davis works to the front. Dragged down, no whistle. Mundy. Disposal number 19 coming up.
He's gone. No, caught. Oh, this is unbelievable.
Gilmore.
Had no forwards forward of the ball to kick it to, so the Dockers players are trying to hold it up but cause a turnover.
And Dale Thomas, lurking with intent, takes the mark.
And that's what happens. It just kills your turnovers through the midfield. When your back half is running to try to support, a turnover leaves your defensive half totally exposed. And as with that occasion, players such as Thomas, Leon Davis out in space.
Comedy of errors, wasn't it? Like, he didn't even make contact with his fist on that occasion. Yep, you just got to try and keep control, but ever in doubt, just go long, get a bit of width on the kick and fight another day.
Dale Thomas comes in, lights it off the boot, and Collingwood enjoy a 9-point advantage.
Well, he's had a day where he's pushed up to the wing and got involved across halfback a lot. But you can just see here, it was Mundy, was it? Yeah, came forward. The ball came off the top of his hand. No, sorry. It was Johnson, Michael Johnson, who turned the ball over by hand. You cannot do that. O'Brien just kicks it out in front. And all the Dockers players are running forward. Of course, you turn it over, you're not goal side, and you're going to pay a price.
Mark Harvey with plenty on his plate at the moment. 9-point lead for Collingwood. 9.5 minutes played, term number 3. Dockers go forward once more. Shammer running onto it. Shut down by Dale Thomas from behind. Matthew Carr works a hand pass for Michael Johnson. His kick left a little to be desired. Maxwell with problems. So too Nathan Brown. Chris Egan did a good job in traffic. Buys some territory for Collingwood, but Peter Bell leads the charge. Can he track it down before the boundary line? Did so. Short kick, not 15. Play on the call. Tarrant on the end of the hand pass. Looks for Pavlich, who again had to sit and wait. McManus couldn't find it. Maxwell McManus thrown to the ground when he didn't have possession. It's a free kick against Harry O'Brien.
And just seems that's the only way Fremantle are actually going to get a direct shot on goal at the moment.
No doubt. The kicking to Pavlich has been disastrous. Shocking kick. That one was right over the top of his head when he was leading by 5 metres. But you're right, they're just going to... If they keep some pressure up, maybe you're going to sneak goals like this, Alistair. And we're just going to have a see. Look, the pressure in their forward line was pretty good. There's Shammer. He's in the hands of the trainers. Caught one on the jaw.
Inside 50s, 37 to 24 in favour of the Dockers.
McManus comes in, he kicks Fremantle's last goal, and he's brought them back into the contest.
That's a big stat. That is a big stat that you mentioned about inside 50s.
Let's just look at Shammer coming from the ground here. Just might have
ran into the back of
might have just got
Thomas.
An errant elbow or something, but there's nothing in that at all. But that's what's killing the Fremantle Dockers at the moment. Matthew Pavlich has been slaughtered up there because the ball just won't go to his advantage. Better off get him up in the midfield for a run about, but he has got to take marks deep in the forward line.
32-year-old Sean McManus played all 22 games for the Dockers last season, one of only 5 players to do that. And he becomes the first multiple goal kicker for the Dockers here this afternoon. They get the answering goal.
Just got to be more effective from these clearances. Ruckman Sandland's getting a hand on the ball, but just can't get an unpressured clearance out of this congestion. Collingwood have been very good on pressuring the ball carrier, making it difficult going into the defensive half of the Pies.
Sandilands again with a tap, but it went straight to Reece Shaw. Quickly onto the boot. Cloak wrestling there. Knocked forward. Chance now for Collingwood. Quickly onto the boot, Dane Swan. Can't convert, though. It's a minor score.
This game is crying out for one individual. I don't care, a good midfielder to get a run of possession, run through 50, maybe kick a goal, or someone to put their hand up and score. Look, they're not doing it well as a team, both sides, are they? They're not efficient enough. Someone's got to stand up. Will it be Dale Thomas? You know he's mercurial. Alan Didak, and maybe Jeff Farmer the other end. Even Chris Tarrant.
What's that doing? Hands are up.
Josh Fraser takes front position, won the tap.
Hasn't got it.
Free kick will go the way of Des Headland.
Just holding off the ball there. Now they've got to get on their bike, Fremantle. Switch the ball sideways and try to get into some space. The forward half of the ground has got a one-on-one contest deep. Got to utilise that.
Oh, dangerously, Des Headland hits Anthony Rocker. Handball for Leon Davis. Can't get his foot to the ball, Rocker.
Oh, missed opportunity from the Collingwood Footy Club there. Anthony Rocker read it brilliantly. Des Headland just set up his teammate, and they just didn't make him pay. Right on the Headland, knocked the ball out. Looked like Davis was going to run into open goal.
Good desperation. Dockers is trying to get it back after once again slaughtering disposal by foot.
Dane Swan, good smother from Mundy. Michael Johnson kicking dangerously at the ball. No whistle forthcoming. Mark Johnson answers away from the defence to Farmer and gets it back. Now on short, he finds McManus. Lead comes now. Running onto it, we find McFarlane. Centering ball. And Jeff Farmer takes the mark.
Oh, Jeff.
Oh, here we go.
Looks to go quickly. Jeff Farmer puts it through, and the Fremantle Dockers hit back and take the lead.
There it is. There's that man. I thought it might have been Didak or Thomas, maybe Leon Davis, but well done to the Fremantle Dockers where they tackled him. But gee, that man Jeff Farmer, look at this, Mundy, great smother. And there, just there, Dane Swan thought it might have been a kick in danger, but well done the umpire. I think that was in play. And someone, at least McFarlane, had the vision and the skill to finish off. I don't know what Jeff was thinking when he just turned around. Maybe take your time, but that's the way he plays. Much needed goal for the Fremantle Dockers.
He's a very dangerous forward. Jeff Farmer played only 8 games last season, but kicked 19 goals to finish top 5 in the Dockers goal kicking. And back-to-back goals from Fremantle. They retake the lead here and have a 2-point edge. Reece Shaw shut down. Pendlebury. Now Josh Carr hacks it out of the congestion. Collingwood deep in defence. Brown.
Well done.
He's done well,
Lokia.
Brown.
Has he what?
He's only had the 7 possessions, and his direct opponent, Pavlich, has had the 13. But you wouldn't think Pavlich has had a major influence on the game at this stage.
Great tackle.
Clark played on. Caught by Roger Hayden.
He'll move it quickly. Just too slow again. McManus was in space.
Stay out, Dane. Move it
Now
on.
Collingwood have got an extra defender. Shane Wakeland's loose.
Hayden with problems. Dane Swan wrapped him up. Got the handball away just in time. Michael Johnson against Leon Davis. Here's Headland coming through. Dane Swan again. Cloak can't find it. Headland shrugs the tackle. Looping hand pass. Dockers with problems. Mundy just got it off in time. Here's Crowley working it around the body, but out of bounds on the full.
Well, good pressure to the pipe. Both these sides, I tell you what, the efficiency of their ball use by foot is pretty ordinary at the moment. Just they're good, and I give credit to the pressure from both teams.
Yeah,
They're
both
tackling
teams.
pretty well, and it's the first game of the year, so everybody's going to be a fairly bit rusty and tired.
Ale Thomas, defensive side of the wing. 16 and a half minutes played, term number 3. Thomas looks for Rocker, sun in his eyes, getting back Gilmore with one hand, couldn't control it. Now Rocker applies the tackle, and it was an effective one as well. Scott McLaren, though, will come in and restart.
You get to this start of the game, Shorey, as you know, round 1, and you're just thinking, what happened during the pre-season? I thought I worked harder on this. It's the lactic acid is starting to build up, and you're starting to look for that second or third breath.
Courage there from Headland. Pavlich over the top to Daniel Gilmore. In space. Measures the pass. And Luke McFarlane grabs the mark.
Been a good move, hasn't it, from the other end?
Just looks very dangerous down there. And what's happened here, we see he was thinking about reversing the free kick against McManus, but I think smarter minds sort of played out there. McFarlane can play back or forward. Very athletic 6'4" player. Should convert this.
Kicked 8 goals, 1 last season. Luke McFarlane likes it off the boot, and he's got the job done.
Luke McFarlane was 3rd in the best and fairest at Fremantle Dockers last year, predominantly playing at centre-half back, but he is a player that could go to the next level and be an absolute star of the competition. Just very tall, athletic, quick. He was in space one-on-one contest, doubled back on the lead, and as we see, he just pushed forward. Nice chest mark and great conversion.
I think what Mark Harvey said is we can't get it with through Tarrant or Pavlich. Let's get another one down there.
Well, Luke McFarlane becomes the 9th goal kicker for Fremantle. Collingwood with 5 goal kickers so far. The Dockers have kicked the last 3 in 7 minutes and enjoy an 8-point lead.
Pavlich into the midfield just to try to add some strength, get some clearances.
Sandilands up high again. Reece Shaw strongly to Lockyer. With a bounce. Time to measure the pass for Medhurst. Mark Johnson getting into his back. Medhurst shakes the tackle. And another. Paul Medhurst, the former Docker, drills it into the post.
Oh, no.
He did
all the hard
very
work.
well. Done everything very well. And he had every right to have a shot on goal. There's probably a player inside he could have handballed to, but he's done some hard work and he'd convert these most of the time. And just a nice little floater into the right post.
Sandilands the target, and the big man doesn't disappoint.
How can you miss? When you do all that work, you just think, I've only got to grab the ball along the ground in a straight line.
Worn out.
Sandilands kicking skills letting him down though. Peter Bell going hard, so too Nick Maxwell. Solomon grabs the loose ball, drives the Dockers deep into their attacking zone. Pack develops, no one able to mark. Josh Carr comes through strongly, tackled by Goldsack. No free kick, now we have got a whistle, and Collingwood will get the free kick. It's Pendlebury. Across the face of goal to Cameron Wood.
I'll tell you what, Josh Carr wouldn't get a free kick if you hit him with a 4x2 at the moment. I don't think he's very popular with the umpires. He did play for that free kick though when he ran hard at the ball.
Chris Egan. Well-weighted kick for the run of Heath Shaw, who continues to motor into the pocket. Josh Fraser just can't reel it in.
And just with the pressure once again of the defence of pushing out wide, we see Josh Carr come hard at the ball. And he's played for that.
Yeah, he did play for it, no doubt.
But yeah, he doesn't get a great run because he's one of those guys that are around the packs all the time, and
you're not telling me that the umpires, if you mouth off them a bit, they have a go. Don't give you a free kick when you deserve one.
You're one of the best at it, sure you'd know.
Sandilands with the hype, but Harry O'Brien doing enough to defuse it. It's out of bounds. Into time on here, term number 3. And the Fremantle Dockers, who started this term down by 4 points, enjoy a 7-point lead here. Dale Thomas in traffic. Gave it to Didak, who sidesteps Matthew Carr. High ball. Mark Johnson at the back. Goes to ground. Now Rocker against Anthony Grover. And we'll have another throw in.
Now, this is where they want to keep it in the forward 50. Give themselves multiple chances. As Didak's gone down centre wing, it looks like with cramp, he's struggling. So that's a concern. Because he's been very efficient up through the midfield of late. So they need to get him up.
Dale Thomas from the boundary line. Works it back for Lockyer. Takes the mark.
Geez, he works hard, Tarkin Lockyer. That was a beautiful kick from Dale Thomas.
I tell you what, it just shows too. The man on the mark, Josh Carr, needs to kick up the backside from his coach because he wasn't goal side of Lockyer. He had to be 2 metres goal side.
Lockyer plays on. One of 5 former West Australians for Collingwood and kicks the goal.
As you know, Alistair, if the opposition have got the ball in their hands, and they just had a throw in deep in the pocket anyway, everybody gets goal side. You block your team, your opponent from getting that side of the goal. Now, you could see this, Dale Thomas, the ball was up in the air for a long time. Josh Carr, that is just thinking, I'm too good, don't want to get goal side and too offensive. I don't think Mark Harvey would be happy with the situation, how he positioned himself defensively then.
Tarkin Lockyer in his 84th consecutive appearance hasn't missed a game since round 10, 2004. As we go down to Lee Colbert.
Yeah, Johnny, they're all cramping on the bench. You picked it. Alan Didak came off with a tight right calf. Maxwell got his hamstrings worked on. Also Gilmore as well. Pavlich has come off for a rest just before three-quarter time. So it's going to be a big last quarter.
Just under 5 minutes to play in the third. Ryan Crowley inside the centre square. Goes to the pocket. Didn't give Headland much to work with. Heathshaw over the top for the support of Tyson Goldsack.
Well, space again for Thomas. Des Headland was screaming for the ball long.
Had to be a free kick against Peter Bell. No eyes for the ball.
The work rate of Collingwood over the last 5 or 10 minutes has been fantastic. That man there, Egan, has run from one side of the ground to the other on multiple occasions, as is Shaw, as is Lockyer.
Looking for Fraser.
Now get it in quickly to Rocco, one-on-one against the smaller Grover. Get it long over his head.
Fraser to the hot spot. Rocker now has 2 to beat. It was Ryan Crowley flying over the back to defuse the situation.
Now, it's only a few seconds in it, but he was just too slow getting back off the mark and allow Crowley to come as the third-up jumper. And you're not going to beat that third-up jumper. He just won the one-on-one contest at the top of the goal square. So just something to be conscious of for both teams. Get back quickly, give your forwards a chance.
Grover gets it from Mark Johnson. Can go wider still, or has Brett Peake leading up the ground.
I've got the section. Right there, Scotty, play on.
Peake coming out wide, looking for Farmer. Got a metre separation against Lockyer. And Farmer will take the kick. Can go across the ground and does so. Every Collingwood player is in Fremantle's half of the ground. Mark Johnson. Was giving it up.
Where's he going now? Swanee. No, it's
Medhurst around the corner. Travis Cloak, the only option, running back with the flight of the ball. Mark Johnson in the hot seat, trying to retrieve the situation. Grabbed by the legs right in front of umpire Scott McLaren.
Great
get
decision.
A free kick.
Great decision, John.
That was probably well done by Cloak in the end.
Yeah.
That if he caused the turnover, he had to hold it in.
Look at this. It's right between his legs and he's grabbed him just above his knees.
That's a good tackle.
In the pocket, Leon Davis to weave a little bit of magic. The fans love it.
A little bit of magic. Whether it was Didak, who's on the bench, I think, because he's cramped up. Leon Davis. Just needs to, and this is what it's about. Because this game has been played, and let's have a look at it. Leon just like, well done to Cloak. His last couple of efforts to keep the ball inside 50 have been brilliant. Well, there you go. You just need a bit of magic sometimes, and Leon, he's done it plenty of times in his career, needs to be a little bit more consistent, but he knew what he was doing. No doubt he meant to do that.
31 goals last season to be top 3 at Collingwood. Leon Davis comes up with an expert finish for his first goal. And Collingwood with a 6-point advantage. Less than 3 minutes to play, term number 3. Peak. Back to Sandilands, who has to get it onto the boot quickly. Clark.
Oh, that's holding the ball.
Tried to wrestle Crowley off the ball.
Oof.
Given some latitude. McManus can't find it. Good pressure from Collingwood again as Wakeland goes down. Tarrant.
Oh.
Dodd, and he did a good job there to find Peter Bell.
All right. We're going to might see a replay of this. I'm just thinking, do you think that he meant it? Did you think he had the peripheral vision that Pavlich had prior?
Oh, he's got to claim that. I reckon that was great vision. Peter Bell knew when there's 10 people around the contest, might as well get out in space with a chance
Stephen
to get
Dodd,
on the end of it.
let's see if he looked first. And, I think you're right. He just kicked that across his body.
Bell comes in from 40 metres, pushes it across the face. It's a minor score.
Once again, the efficiency inside 50 is hurting the Fremantle Dockers. 43 forward 50 entries to Collingwood 30. And you wouldn't have even have thought that Collingwood's efficiency has been great, but certainly the Dockers have been very poor.
Goldsack back to Heath-Shaw. Good distance with a kick to centre wing. Crowley wrestling there, but Dane Swan has taken a miraculous mark.
He's been good, Swan. 21 possessions, only kicked the 2 points, hasn't kicked the goal yet, but that was a great grab.
Cloak was the target, but Leon Davis is everywhere at the moment. Looking for Egan. Pressure on the Dockers. Mark Johnson taken down by Medhurst.
Got to try and get it out. Got to try and get it.
He's pinged him.
Oh, right.
And that was good tackle from Medhurst. Could have fallen into the back of his opponent. Have a look at the mark here from Dane Swan.
There you go.
Well,
blindsided the umpire.
Was close enough.
Medhurst to the goal square. Hangs in the air for a long time. And it trickles through for a minor score.
Might have just touched the ground a little, that Dane Swan mark. Good effort anyway, looked very good. But good tackle from Medhurst. Had the opportunity to go straight in the back of his opponent, but dragged him to the side. Got the free kick.
Medhurst keeps it alive for Collingwood. Davis went without it. Fremantle still with problems. Collingwood pressing here. Bell in traffic to Peak. And now Mundy.
Got no one to kick to. He's got to keep possession here. And did it beautifully. Pavlich worked up the ground. So you can just feel it's on a knife edge, isn't it? You're going in the last quarter. Players are going down with cramp. We're in for one great game this last quarter.
Now they've got a mismatch forward. They've got Heath-Shaw currently on Luke McFarlane. So Shaw's given away about 4 or 5 inches. So if they can isolate that matchup, it will certainly work in Fremantle's favour.
I think they'll get Brown back there.
They've called him back now, yep.
Well, the Dockers will be happy to hold on to possession here. And we are going to have a thrilling final quarter coming your way. 3-quarter time at the MCG. And Collingwood with a 6-point advantage. 3 goals apiece in term number 3. And the 3 that Fremantle kicked were all in succession. They had an 8-point lead at the 18-minute mark. But Collingwood with the last 2 goals of the quarter to Tarkin Lockyer. And a brilliant snap from Leon Davis. With 1 quarter to play, a straight kick separates Collingwood and Fremantle.
Of his knees.
That's a good tackle.
In the pocket, Leon Davis to weave a little bit of magic. The fans love it. Welcome back to the MCG Mercurial stuff there from Leon Davis. It's a 1 straight kick the difference here with 1 quarter to play. It was 2 points at quarter time, 4 at the half. Biggest margin we've seen all day is 14 points in Collingwood's favour during the first term. The Dockers led by as many as 9 during term number 2. 9 goal kickers for the Dockers. McManus the only one in double figures, and Rocker with 3 for Collingwood. Well, let's go downstairs. We find the former Dockers captain, now assistant coach Chris Bond, standing by there with Lee Colbert.
Chris, been an interesting game. It's been flat out from the start, and now it's a battle of the fittest, really, in the last quarter.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the last 30 minutes, I think it's been a great game of footy. I think we've wasted the ball a couple of times, but, it's still round one, but we're expecting a great last quarter.
Now, they're down to 3 men on the bench. You guys have also got Heath Black, who's probably not going to participate anymore. What's he done?
No, he just got a bit of a knock. Look, he still might be a chance late in the quarter. We'll wait and see. But, yeah, we've been down to 3 men on the interchange, but hopefully he'll come up.
And the message for the last quarter?
Look, the game's been really tight all the way through, We've just got to make sure we keep giving our forwards a chance. So I think it'll be a real battle in the midfields for this last one.
Thanks, Chris. All the best for the year, mate. Back to you, boys.
Certainly a big final quarter for the Fremantle Dockers. They've battled away all day. They lead the disposals 268 to 245. They lead the marks 85 to 75. Uncontested possessions 190 to 157. Don't want to go overboard with stats.
No.
One more.
One stands out though.
Inside 50s 43 to 31, and it is 20 scoring shots to the Collingwood team to only 14 Fremantle, which basically tells you they cannot hit a target or cannot capitalise on the opportunities inside 50. Their efficiency there has been very, very poor.
Well, I thought McFarlane, they went with McFarlane forward, and that helped them balance up. And I'm trying to look now just to see.
He's going back.
He's going back. No, I can't understand it. You've got to kick a score to win the game. Now, whether they think that Pavlich and Tarrant are going to have their impact on the game, I'm not too certain about that. I think McFarlane was a good lead-up player, gave him someone to kick to. But, gee, that efficiency rate, Collingwood to have 20 shots with only 31 inside 50s, they're getting it done. They're getting it done, and they need that to happen. Anthony Rocker's going to have a big play. But, again, collectively, both sides have slaughtered the ball. They have not used the ball well, and we're just waiting on. We saw Neon Leon kick that goal just before three-quarter time. Someone's going to take the, even midfield, get a lot of possessions here to give them drive. I keep pushing the Sandylands because, someone of that height, you think, can he have a major impact in a game? I have never seen him grab a game by the scruff of the neck and win it for him, and maybe it's about time he did that. You can look at that end. We know Anthony Rocker, Medhurst, and maybe Didak can do it. Didak's back on the ground after cramping up. So we're looking for individual players, because unless a side picks their efficiency up by foot, you won't see it from either team. It's going to be those individual one-on-ones.
And through weight of numbers, the Dockers are going to throw everything at Collingwood. Didak, who suffered from cramp halfway through that third quarter, back on the ground.
Underway in the final quarter. Sandilands against Josh Fraser. Dockers with possession. If Peter Bell can find it. Heard the call from Michael Johnson. His hand pass goes astray though. Cloak comes in strongly. O'Brien. Now Reece Shaw measures the kick out wide, looking for Medhurst. It pitches just at his feet. His disposal left a little to be desired as well. Swan dragged off the ball. Ryan Crowley with problems. Egan spinning out of trouble. Now the disposal, all important. It's not good, but Didak runs onto the ball. Dodd right there with him. Rocker supplies the tackles. Didak with Pendlebury. Magpies lurking with intent, throwing it onto the boot. Chris Egan, and it's not through for a minor score.
Yeah, a couple of players involved there, wasn't there? Didak, Pendlebury, just those players you think. Medhurst.
But once again, a forward 50 entry and at least a score. It was a point, but a shot on goal was there.
Roger Hayden to restart for the Dockers. He's looking a little flummoxed at the moment.
Well, no wonder, because not one of his teammates are moving into position.
Well, that's not a great kick either. Try and kick to the bench. Oh, good mark. Well, he's one-on-one. Josh Fraser's got to punch the arm. Well, you're not allowed to punch the arm to try and get the ball to ground there.
But, yeah, his only option, because there was no other movement. The Dockers do look tight, as both teams are at this stage of the game, first round. But he'll bail out, go to your 7'1" ruckman. And as Shaw's been saying, he'd like to see that at the top of the goal square at the other end, and maybe a couple of goals to win the game. I'll get under that.
Pavlich.
Chris Tarrant, I think.
Goes long. Mark Johnson out. Can't find it. Heath Shaw. Quickly onto the boot for Dale Thomas. Grover going back, but Thomas takes a good mark. Medhurst screaming for the ball. Roger Hayden covers him though, so he goes a little deeper. And Anthony Rocker wins a free kick there against Luke McFarlane.
Now that turnover has just come from the lack of ability for Fremantle Dockers to move into space. The first one they got away with, went to Sandlands, took a very good contested mark. Then Pavlich had no options. He just bombed it long to a contest. caused the turnover, and Collingwood once again have capitalised, gone forward to Rocker, out of position, free kick.
And the man who tried to spoil that, McFarlane, he might give you that lead-up player to go through at half-forward. I cannot understand why he's gone back to Anthony Rocker when they had players who were doing it before. I thought Grover was pretty solid.
Rocker leans back, coming back. He's got it very well indeed, and Anthony Rocker kicks his fourth.
Anthony Rocker kicking the 4 goals. 4 goals won today. He's been quite good. He hasn't had the space. He's had a good contest with his opponents, whether it's Grover or McFarlane. See, Thomas, a very good mark there. He's a polished player, obviously. The kick was just a little long again. Just a bad mistake to give a free kick away there. He didn't have to give the free kick away. He could have just held the back of Rocker to make sure he wasn't going to take the mark.
When these teams played round 10 last year, Rocker kicked 5 when Collingwood won by 9 points. He's carving them up again here with 4. A 13-point lead for Collingwood.
The biggest lead, John, I would think, for the match, or close to?
14 points in the first term. 13 at the moment as we get back underway.
It's a big lead in the context of this game.
O'Brien drives Collingwood forward again. Travis Clegg at the front, the ball a little deeper. McFarlane spoils his teammate Johnson. Grover with problems. He's the hand pass forward. Dale Thomas runs onto it, but out of bounds as well.
That's classic Fremantle today, I think. 2 players going for the same ball in the air. Just a lack of torque. Just seem a little bit disjointed in round 1 at the moment. Just haven't got that continuity up and going.
Don't grab him! Don't grab him!
Travis Clegg to do the ruck work, undersized against Sandilands, who expertly knocks it down. And Fremantle threw Des Headland out of trouble. There's Nathan Brown, the rookie, who's done a great job on Pavlich so far. Pies pressing again, Medhurst.
Play on.
Called to play on. Mundy in traffic.
Collingwood faithful.
Trying to take on Dale Thomas, and he's holding the ball.
Well,
fantastic, Thomas.
How sensational a tackle that was. Like, this man, you have a look at his arms. There's no doubt he needs another 3 years in the gym to become a matured player. But you know what Dale Thomas wants? He wants this spotlight. He is a player at a young age who wants the ball in his hands to kick the winning goal. And that could be about the winning tackle. Sensational play.
We had a good contested mark there on the wing, set up Rocker's goal. And that tackle.
Yeah, good. No chance of getting rid of that.
Well, Dale Thomas kicked the first goal in the third quarter. The 5-minute mark of the final term. He comes in, punches the air. Collingwood have the biggest lead of the game so far.
The Collingwood are actually starting to get up there in the inside 50s, and each time they've gone in this quarter, they've kicked a score, and they've been very efficient. Dale Thomas has been fantastic. Swan through the midfield. Heath Shaw. Egan's run very well, and just across the board, they just appear to have more running capabilities than the Fremantle Dockers in the last 30 minutes.
It's time for Freo. This is the test now. Real time for Freo. Said it before the game. They need respect here.
Mark Harvey with plenty to think about in the Fremantle boxer at the moment. A game-high 19-point lead. Collingwood have kicked the last 4 goals, bracketed across three-quarter time.
Push Pavlich up into the midfield again.
I'll say it again now. McFarlane's gone to Medhurst. I think they can find a better matchup for that. They need to kick goals now, Fremantle. Push him forward.
Wood with his hand to the ball. Pavlich muscling his way through the centre to Dean Solomon. Needs help. Des Headland is there. Good tackle from Reece Shaw. Pavlich goes again, though. Handball over the top. Josh Carr works onto the left foot, but sprays it, but the mark is going to be taken by Ryan Crowley.
Tried to miss the target, but it was good. Pavlich went in, used his strong body to get that centre clearance and find some space, and they've got a shot on goal. Very important that they make the most of this. Just momentum at the moment with the way the Collingwood players are going. And Tony Shaw, you should be a coach.
I don't know about that.
You should be. Mark Johnson back to the back line, McFarlane to the forward 50.
Crowley's kicked one from outside 50 already this afternoon. This time just inside the line. Pulls it across the face. It's a minor score.
Had that phase of life, sure, you reckon? But it's good call.
I'm past that. Well, the thing is, in the third quarter, who looked like their dangerous forward? It was McFarlane. So why would you make the change when you can always get a match-up for Medhurst?
Good clearing kick from Collingwood. Leon Davis. It's Reece Shaw running for him. Looks up to the half-forward line. Here's Medhurst. Mark Johnson over the back, giving away an obvious free kick.
Maybe it wasn't a good change.
No, well, but that was classic Medhurst. He doesn't like to run and jump at the ball. He likes to hold his position on the ground and protect the drop of the ball. And he drew the free kick there. I mean, Mark Johnson should have had a bit more of awareness of his opponent, and Medhurst always does that.
Played 99 games for the Dockers in 5 years, Medhurst.
He'll put this to the 30-metre mark.
Collingwood on fire at the moment. Here's Sandilands at the back, tackled by Cameron Wood. Fans wanted holding the ball. Anthony Rocker jumps onto the crumbs, and Anthony Rocker has kicked number 5.
And that is a very smart kick. Very smart kick from Medhurst. He drew the free kick out of nothing. Once again, the kick to the leading forward was a bit long. He sat under the ball, drew the free kick, but smart one. Didn't try to overkick it to deep in the goal square. Put it at that 25-metre mark, hoping for a contested mark from his big forward. But the efforts of Collingwood over probably the last 20 minutes, it looked like they've had more spark, more run in their legs. And Anthony Rocker crumbing forwards goal. Probably a little bit unlucky not to get the holding the ball decision.
Just about Aaron Sandilands, you know, I might be too critical of him, but for a player who gets around the ground like he does, it might be that height just doesn't suit the modern game. It's a big one, but gee, to get caught like he did there, it was just too slow.
Well, Collingwood looking like winners. Almost 9 minutes played in the final quarter. Pendlebury through traffic.
They are forward of the ball everywhere.
O'Brien with plenty on offer.
Great vision.
And works it sideways, and running onto it is Dane Swan.
That is very good vision. Sean O'Brien, just on his right foot, the chip across. See Dane Swan, who had powered out of the middle of the ground into space. And we just saw here, Wood's given it over. There was a choice of 2 or 3 players to give it to. And that's great vision. Always tempting to blaze away, have a shot from 50. But if you can find a target open in space, this will really hurt.
Top 6 in Brownlow medal voting last season, Dane Swan. That's ugly. That's a minor score.
I'll tell you what Dane Swan did just prior to running forward then. He had Crowley on him. He's grabbed him by the jumper, slung him to the ground, and the umpire didn't see. Crowley was going berserk. But if you can get away with it, do it. The umpire just didn't have the vision. He had the vision for the ball carrier. Good play by Dane Swan, but you've got to be harder. If he does that next time, you give him a, you know what you do, Alistair. You don't allow him to get away with it.
Dockers haven't kicked a goal for more than 20 minutes as Sandilands stands tall again. Matthew Carr running onto it now. Brett Peake through the centre of the ground.
They'll use Headland. Got to give it to Headland now.
Looks for Des Headland. Hand pass behind him. Had to go back and retrieve it. Now wheels around. High in the air. McFarlane comes out strongly and grabs the mark.
Shorey, go get your clipboard and your magnets. You're back in the game.
Well, I'm just getting some black hairs back now after those greys have gone.
No, good move. And they probably should have kicked the goal via Headland if the handball was good. But Luke McFarlane, as we touched on, very good player, back or forward. Could be the difference to get the Dockers back in the game.
Kick Fremantle's last goal at the 18-minute mark of the third term, and he makes no mistake to breathe some life into Fremantle's hopes.
Well, I love it when a player like Aaron Sandilands, again, I was critical. I just wonder about how he covers the ground, but gee, that mark on the wing, that was so important. He was outnumbered at ground level. They got the ball through the corridor, and I think it was Peake who handballed to Headland. Should have been out in front, would have had a shot at goal anyway. But look at McFarlane here, he's on gold sack. Kick the ball out in a space that's any forward just needs that, and good finish. So back in the game now, but they've got to find some real courage here, Fremantle.
Two straight for Luke McFarlane, who kicked 8-1 last season. He's dangerous if they can get the ball to him.
Get the footy!
Collingwood holds sway by 19 points. A little over 11 minutes played here in the final term. Sandilands with the tap once more. Has to try and find his own ball. Egan indiscriminately. Dane Swan and Crowley wrestling for it again, and Dane Swan comes up with it, puts it down. Did too much, too strong. Now running back, Mark Johnson has collected Travis Clegg. Didak out of midair.
Oh, he had time. Pendlebury giving him a serve. His teammate running past. Had time to grab the ball, maybe going for the goal or the spectacular goal he didn't need.
Dodd restarts. He's looking for Sandilands, who's standing up strong.
He's taken 3 good contested marks already this quarter. That is
I think that's
good play. Oh no, it's not Sandilands.
Johnson.
Clear that Paul!
Yep.
Michael Johnson looking to go long. Dean Solomon the target against Harry O'Brien, who's been good all day. O'Brien holds Solomon off, waits for support. Nick Maxwell is there and wins a free kick.
Lost the plot there, Dean Solomon. All he had to do was keep the ball in the area, compete as hard as you can, and slung Maxwell to the ground.
Collingwood numbers. Here's Heath Shaw running onto it. Coming up for disposal, number 22, and only Dane Swan with 24 has more. Measures the kick for Medhurst. He's pulled up with a cramp again.
Tell you what, the Dockers have pushed Pavlich on ball now. They've pushed him up the ground. He's trying to do it all.
Probably not a bad move for a few minutes to leave Luke McFarlane one out. Hopefully get some drive out of the midfield and some quality ball into the forward half.
O'Brien looks up for the lead of Thomas. Didak and Rocker in the goal square along with Josh Fraser.
Bit slow.
70 metres out, Dale Thomas goes for distance to the hot spot. Johnson with the tap, Didak slung off the kick. And Matthew Carr happy to concede a minor score.
Now this is where they've stopped over the last 30 minutes. Their kickouts, very stationary, and have struggled to get any sort of run out of the back half.
Grover got it from Peake. Terrible disposal. Josh Carr has to go. Did well to keep it alive. Only as far as Reshaw though. Pendlebury with a left foot searching kick at the back. Rocker.
Too big.
All by himself. Far too much time by himself, and the key forward in the Collingwood forward line at the top of the goal square without an opponent makes it pretty tough. And once again, turnovers. Coming out of the back line, turning the ball over, leaves your defensive half vulnerable.
All day I've been saying the Fremantle forwards, can they lift, be the one to turn around? Well, this has been the man, hasn't he? Lining up for goal 6. We looked at a few players who were spectacular to try and lift them, but he's just been solid as a rock.
Pavlich at the other end has been the headache for Collingwood over recent meetings, but Rocker's the one today.
Rocker comes in and makes no mistake. Collingwood are looking like winners.
And Rocker's been the difference. Very impressive, 6-goal 1, 14 possessions, the 7 marks, and he's been a colossus in the forward half. Fremantle haven't had the player to take any sort of contested mark in a position where they can kick goals.
They haven't used Michael Johnson on Rocker. I thought that he might have been a chance at some time during the game. Either after kicking 3 or 4 goals, make a change there.
Anthony Rocker's kicked 3 of his 6 goals in the first 15 minutes of the final term. Season high last season in a game was 6 against the Swans during the finals, and even half dozen today. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, goalless in the third, but now putting the finishing touches on the Dockers. 15 and a half minutes played, term number 4. Reece Shaw been busy all day. Hits his kick away. Dale Thomas leads the charge. Roger Hayden right on his hammer.
Wow.
Elusive skills from Dale Thomas. Was looking for Egan. Pass not the best. Gilmore comes through strongly. Matthew Carr. Hand pass went to Leon Davis, who throws it onto the boot, and the Collingwood fans are celebrating again.
Well, I'll tell you what, I saw something from that kick out at that centre bounce, which is the reason why Dale Thomas... Now, look at this clearance here. The ball's kicked out to the wing. I think Roger Hayden was probably in front of Dale Thomas. There he is there. He's not that far behind him. But look at the effort in the running here and the urgency in the game to try and get involved. I think that wasn't good enough for Roger Hayden. That means they're throwing it in a little bit. But that's why Dale Thomas wants to be involved in the game all the time.
Oh, Collingwood running riot here. They've kicked 5 goals in the first 16 minutes of the final term. Took them 3 quarters to kick 10. But they are an irresistible force at the moment. They've kicked 7 of the last 8 goals. Remembering Fremantle led approaching time on in the third quarter. This looks all over now. McManus ridden into the ground. Free kick against Nathan Brown.
Just fell forward in the tackle a little to give away the free kick.
Headland looking for McFarlane, and Harry O'Brien over the back has given away the free kick.
That was good work, McFarlane.
Yeah, smart.
Pushed back hard into Harry O'Brien, who leant over his right shoulder and gave the free kick away. Very good body work. And that's come from confidence over a couple of years down back. Knows how to use his body. And it wasn't a lot in it, but they pay those these days.
You might have kicked a few more if you were playing in the modern game, Alistair.
No, I'd have to be inside the goal square. I couldn't kick him from too far out.
Well, McFarlane has kicked Fremantle's last 2 goals and now make that 3 in a row.
There's Harry O'Brien, who's given that free kick away. Luke McFarlane, as we've touched on, and sure he's been pushing forward to get him forward. Just used his body well, pushed back. Once again, the kick wasn't great. It wasn't to his advantage, but he had the bigger reach, pushed back hard, drew the free kick. But you've got to give credit to the defensive half for Collingwood. You look at the likes of Lockyer, Brown, O'Brien, Maxwell, Wakeland and Shaw, been very good.
Well, McFarlane with 2 goals here in the final term at Collingwood with a healthy 27-point advantage. We played more than 18 minutes. There's Cam Wood in his first game for the Magpies off the ground.
Oh, he's got him.
And Josh Fraser takes the mark.
His second efforts have been good on a couple of occasions, Cam Wood.
That was good.
Smart play, isn't it?
He knocked the ball into space. There was no defensive sweeper for the Fremantle Dockers on that clearance here. Look, jumps over the top and there's space. Now, that's not good because if he was able to pick it up, as he did, he kicked it off the ground, but you can run through and break the forward 50 and kick goals. They needed that defensive sweeper to stop Collingwood being able to have that clearance.
Josh Fraser looking for his first goal of the afternoon. Never had it on line and missing to the near side.
He might have found a ruck partner.
Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it? I'd like to see Josh forward a little bit more too. And just on that occasion, how many times do a player, if they kick it off the ground, somehow your opponent's, your teammate's always in front? It's very efficient if, some of the kick-outs. But that's what can happen if you play in front. You get the opportunity. And Josh Fraser just failed to convert then.
Quite often the defenders are very conscious of their opponent, react to their opponent's movement, but a scrappy old kick favours the forward often.
Finds Pavlich. And now it's Gilmore providing the run, but he was shut down. Rocker. Gang tackle.
Hold it in.
Wrestled to the ground.
Smart play, Anthony Rocker. I think he knew he was going to be gang tackled. He didn't want to throw that out so they could go forward and give him a sniff late in the game.
Rocker doing the ruck work. And intelligently as well, Roger Hayden runs onto the loose ball. Looks up. Well-weighted kick for Michael Johnson, who goes quickly. McFarlane again the target. A little too deep for him. Shane Wakeland leads Sandilands to the ball. Jeff Farmer to Sandilands. Heathshaw in the way.
Thinking if it went out would have been intentional.
Medhurst running onto Pavlich here, who drops the ball and then wrestled off. It wanted a free kick. Medhurst and Pavlich going on with it after the event as well. Cloak drives long. Rocker has 2 to beat. Rocker doing a great job coming across to defuse a situation. David Mundy.
Collingwood have dominated possessions and inside 50s, 13-4 in this last quarter. And also we've spoke all game about how the advantage has been well and truly in the Fremantle Dockers' way. 47-44 now for the game inside 50s, but Collingwood dominating.
45,383 the crowd here. There were 44,000 here when they last played, round 10 last year on a Friday night.
Sideways, play on.
Dockers with problems. Peter Bell. Now Crowley.
They still lack a lot of genuine speed in their midfield, not enough hard runners, the players who push through the pain barrier a little bit more, because that makes up for a lack of leg speed.
They're certainly missing Paul Hazelby, who ruptured his ACL in the pre-season. Shammer looks to the lead of Headland. Takes the mark.
Heath Black gives you that too. They lost him early in the game.
Yeah, and that's been evident, whether it be some fatigue being the first game, and you couldn't possibly have lack of match conditioning, but they just look like they're out on their feet very early. Collingwood have had too much run for them.
Headland comes in. Difficult shot. It's across the face of goal. Josh Fraser takes an uncontested mark.
Once again, something that coaches despise. To have a contested mark back on the goal line like that shouldn't happen.
But the one thing about Collingwood, you give them credit. You know, they were one kick off the grand final. They never give in, and that's the way Mick Malthouse coach. You know they'll compete and they work hard, and they work hard in numbers.
Well, they've done that. They've put pressure on all day. They've been towed up in most facets of the game as far as possessions and disposals and marks and all that sort of stuff. For most of the game, they've certainly got on top in this last quarter. But whenever Fremantle have had the ball, they've been able to tackle or at least put pressure on or perceived pressure.
Travis Cloak doing that there. Johnson recovers, though. Pass intended for Peter Bell, cut out by Medhurst. Travis Cloak comes again. Running onto the ball, Ryan Crowley. Numbers out wide. He heads in that direction.
Grover's just got to carry the ball now. Just keep going.
Well done to Pendlebury too.
Grover launches from 60, wobbles off the boot. At the back of the pack, Des Headland.
I just said well done to Pendlebury because what he did, he didn't go at Grover, made him kick from outside 50, and that's what Collingwood wanted. They hadn't had numbers back. But gee, great mark by Desi Headland, just went for it.
Top 5 in the Fremantle goal kicking last year, Des Headland. And from close range, he slams it through.
22 points the difference now. You'd think it's with only 4.5 minutes to go, it's far too much for the Fremantle Dockers to bridge this sort of gap. Held the ball, trying to get towards the forward 50 and break that and have a shot on goal, but in the end had a long shot towards the top of the goal square. It was a dirty old floater too. Desi Headland's taken a very good mark there over the back of his opponent, Heath Shaw. Important goal, but too late.
Des Headland becomes Fremantle's 10th goal kicker of the afternoon. It's Collingwood by 22 points. In time on here. Crowley lost it, has to go back and retrieve it. Good tackle from Dane Swan, who's dispossessed himself. And Crowley goes again, shrugs a couple of tackles. Overrunning at Peak. Pendlebury working hard on all fours. Peak comes again. Farmer, Solomon, Byron Shammer. Work to the left foot. Non-preferred side, and it's out of bounds on the full.
The other thing we've got to look at the dominance. Efficiency-wise, they might have had more possessions and whatever, but, you know, they've had 30 shots to 18. So that means every time you get the ball, and like that horrible stat that we said, they had more, 13 inside 50s before this quarter started. You just don't win games when you don't have that production.
Heath Shaw looking for distance. Maxwell the target. In fact, it was Nathan Brown against Farmer. Maxwell joins in now and Shammer across the line.
His first appearance, as would his coach and his teammates. He's been very good, played on one of the premier forwards in the competition for most part of the day, and he could go away with his head held very high.
Dane Swan working hard, as is his forte. Lockyer quickly onto the boot.
They've got numbers here, the Pies.
Well done by Cloak to Davis, dragged down by Gilmore. Obvious free kick, play onto advantage. Cloak from just outside the 50 gets it to the goal front. Cameron Wood controls it, and Didak will put on the finishing touches.
A little bit happening off the ball. Didak looks like he's caught one around the right ear, but another opportunist goal. And I think, Shorey, that's the sort of thing you want to see from an Aaron Sandilands, to make a good contest deep in the forward line. Like Cameron Wood was able to get the ball to ground, and Didak was there to kick the goal. But good build-up. Travis Cloak had a few choices here of where to go to, but see, Cameron Wood deep, makes a contest, goes to the front, Didak's there to kick a goal.
Mark Johnson, I don't think it was Mark Johnson, I think it was Dodd's boot that, it was Dodd's boot that hit him in the head, and he thought Mark Johnson was the culprit, and gave him a mouthful. So I think kids will have a look at the replay during the, Alan Didak looked at the replay during the week and might ring Mark Johnson, say it wasn't you, mate, sorry.
Just a throw there from Aaron Sandilands.
Gee, they've got numbers out there, Collingwood.
A little over 3 minutes to play.
Anthony Rocker.
Collingwood by 28 points. Rocker can't control it. Grover to clear. Michael Johnson. Across the ground. Mundy. Disposal number 25, the most for the Dockers. Good distance with a kicker. McFarlane takes another strong mark. Headland on the lead into the pocket. Takes the mark.
There was good communication from Luke McFarlane. He called for Des Headland, gestured with his hands to lead at him. Headland wanted it long. Good lead, good pass.
McFarlane, who ride it with him this time, is into the near side.
Both Des Headland and Luke McFarlane, they look like the most likely. Just see a little bit going on, just a bit of mucking around, nothing there. But they've looked the dangerous ones when running at the ball. Their ability to take the ball at speed has been quite good.
Tell the man who's been disappointed, Chrissy Tarrant has 6 possessions for the game. Kicked 1 behind. That's just not good enough for a marquee player or a player who, you know, you look to give you the next level of improvement in your team.
Swan in the back pocket, runs past Brett Peake. Cross the ground, now taken by Cameron Wood.
Shaw running very hard.
That's great
by himself. Yeah, that's good. Last minute of the game, good to see that sort of run your legs.
Fraser out strongly. All pitches in front of him. Now a chance for Crowley. Cloak goes strongly. And it's holding the ball.
See, the holding the ball was deliberate. That was all but a try over the line. Crowley just thought, it's all over here. We'll just get this over the line. Bit of a stoppage.
Reece Shaw pass intended for Medhurst. Had too much carry. Out of bounds. Less than 90 seconds to play.
Tell you what, they've 58 tackles a game they averaged last year. Number 1 in tackling in the competition. They've nearly equalled that again today. They just put enough pressure on the break sides.
O'Brien needs help. Provided by Medhurst. Former Docker lets go from outside 50 and has missed everything.
I think the question will come from this game is Fremantle, where is their improvement coming from? Where will it come from? They haven't got Hazelby for a couple. Hazelby's a slow midfielder again. It's not that. That's not what they lack. They just need work ethic and, you know, put up with some mental pressure to win the respect, as we said before, the game of the footy world. And it's every time they've been tested over the last few years, I don't think they've stood up well enough. And that'll be the question mark they'll be asked after this game again.
Gilmore at centre wing. Looks up, and Pavlich coming back with a fly to the ball, can't control it. Goldsack to Harry O'Brien. Their defence has been tremendous this afternoon. And now Travis Cloak inside the centre square. Goes short. Looking for Medhurst. Can't find it. Josh Fraser there as well. Medhurst in traffic. Takes on 2. Now Roger Hayden can relieve the pressure. Gilmore is the free man. Shammer inside of him. Handball misses the target. Shammer, though, gets it to Michael Johnson. Takes a bounce. Now looks up for the lead. And it's McFarlane who takes the mark.
This has been a good move, I reckon, Alistair.
I reckon it's been a great move by you, Shorey. He's been,
I don't think it was hard.
Likely. No, it wasn't a hard one.
Quarter. There it is.
McFarlane will fire at goal from 49 after the siren. Sliding across the face for a minor score, but it's all academic because Collingwood have finished full of running here. 6 goals to 3 in the final quarter after leading by a kick at 3/4 time. They end up 26 points in front.
Yeah, good result for Collingwood. You're always looking to get off to a good start for the season, and especially after Collingwood was so good last year. Their youngsters led the way, and they were led by Anthony Rocker today. He was outstanding. Kicked the 6 goals, was a key target up forward and a focus for all midfield thrusts to kick it long to him. But for 3 parts of the game, 3/4 of the game, Collingwood were outdone possessions inside 50s. But the tackling and the pressure they continued to put on their opponents just wore them down, and it was a very good finish for a very good game for the Dockers, and there was none better on the field than this man, Anthony Rocker, and he's down there with Lee Colbert.
Thanks, Lynchy. You had a big day, the big fella. How's the wing tank now, mate? Round 1, it's certainly you just blowing all day.
I was blowing all day, mate, but I kept plugging along and, you know, found some space, and, you know, the boys used the ball pretty well, and they got out of the middle really good for me, so, and for the rest of the forwards as well, and they did a magnificent job.
you must be happy to get rid of all the pre-season training, no more time trials, beep tests, and actually get into playing footy.
Yeah, absolutely. You can get a bit stale doing the same routine all the time, but when games come along, we're fit and we're ready to go, and that's all we want to get into is play footy and have a good win like that.
And Cameron Wood, he really showed a bit, a couple of second efforts, and got the ball on quickly. He's certainly going to help out the ruck stocks, isn't he?
Absolutely, he's going to help out Fraser immensely this year, and for us to go places, we're going to need him to step up.
Well done, mate. 6 goals, 14 disposals. I know tomorrow you're having Sunday lunch with Big Sav. He couldn't come to the game today because he's actually cooking you some tucker.
Yeah, absolutely. I was a bit disappointed he didn't come to the game, but he's organising an Easter lunch tomorrow, and we're going to have a good time Easter lunch tomorrow. And just wishing everyone out there a good Easter and drive safely and don't drink and drive.
Good on you, mate. Have a great year. Thanks.
Anthony Rocket, again the star. He defeated Fremantle almost single-handedly round 10 last season with a 5-goal haul. And he came up with 6 goals won this afternoon. And after it was a tight contest for the first 3 quarters and only a kick the difference with 1 quarter to play, Collingwood with 6 goals to 3 in the final quarter draw first blood in 2008, and they have defeated Fremantle by 26 points. We'll have more for you from the MCG right after this.